What's up? What's up? It's the Arthur Moats Experience with Deke. I'm Arthur Moats, and that's my main man, Deke.
What's good, bro?
Looks like another day. Looks like another show. Looks like some more fun. But what it is not going to look like tonight, I'm just throwing this out here for everybody that's involved right now. I know they first, they starting to tap in. It's not going to look like a 3-hour podcast tonight. I'm just needing to get that off my chest. My voice is still recovering.
I'm still tired.
From
you saw me walk in today. I have not recovered.
The energy was low when you walked in. I was like, yo, we really recorded for 3 hours. The other day, 3. I mean, we're still posting content from that episode.
Yeah, we laid it all out there, though. We really put our heart into that one.
It was a very passionate episode. A lot of prep went into that.
Well, yeah, we don't know how much more Steeler news or NFL news we're going to get until like training camp.
You're right.
Hey, you might as well just leave it all out there.
Look, man, we had to take full advantage of it. But I will say this. Shout out to everybody that was rocking with us because y'all were tuned in. I mean, I talked to you, Deke. I was like, man, it's 3 hours later and these people are still diving into this thing, comment section going crazy. It was a dope little vibe right there, man. So shout out to everybody that did ride that wave with us. But like I said, tonight we're not going for 3 hours. I ain't got it, bro.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I don't have it.
You see, I'm starting my Air Highsmith campaign.
I peeped it. I liked it. I was like, did he sign with Jordan? I thought I missed something. I know he had got engaged. Shout out to Alex Highsmith won the engagement. Sure. I mean, awesome dude. Obviously, he was a guy that we interviewed on the show. If you haven't checked out that interview, definitely do that, man.
Yeah, that was good. That was like a couple weeks after he got drafted.
Absolutely, man. Rookie year then, man. So it was an awesome time just hearing where he's at then. Obviously, we'll have him back on the show, season hits and stuff like that, man. Just to hear the update, right? Hear the growth from this young man. But as a whole, man, big kudos to him.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out.
And shout out to your attire, too. Ladies and gentlemen. It's the prime time. See, when we were recording early, that noon time frame, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, Deke show up, maybe some taco meat, but he was always going to be casual. Now you got the button up, the fresh hat. I mean, dude,
you're missing the bottom half though, because I have gym shorts on and slippers.
It's all about perception. They didn't need to see that. I like it's ways to be look professional.
I know. I'm a golf hat guy now. I think I got a couple of these Titleist hats. I can't stop rocking them.
It's your look. It's a
I
nice
think
look
it
on
is.
You, man.
I think it is.
Along with the taco meat.
Yeah,
it flows perfectly. You look really sophisticated. You look like you're like a lawyer during the day and you golf, amateur in the afternoons. Like that's the type of vibe you give me right now. I like it though,
that's cool. I'm good with that.
I would let you do my taxes. I definitely would, man.
That's dangerous.
He said that's dangerous.
That is dangerous.
Man. All right though, man. And shout out to everybody with the primetime clock. It looks like primetime. Once again, thumbs up if y'all liking the primetime time slot. Just let us know once again in the comment section. We're digging it so far, so good. Just vibing out on a late night.
Yeah, no, this is good. I'm good with whatever we said that. Whatever time's best for everyone else.
We're servants of the people. That's what we are. We serve y'all. So if y'all like the late night, we're going to keep the late nights rolling, baby. As long as it's not 3 hours. So now, without further ado, if you're ready, hop into this first topic.
Sure.
All right. And it looks like we're going to be talking about Najee Harris, man, more importantly. But in all seriousness, man, this rookie minicamp that the Steelers just had over this past weekend. For me, man, at first, I just before I even get into like rookie minicamp, I was thinking about like my rookie minicamp, right? I always get those vibes. Anytime like certain things like this happen, I'm like, man, what was I thinking when I was a rookie? And I remember being excited, wet behind the ears, because this is before you get the real coaching part, right? Up until this point, when you're going into rookie minicamp, it's all love. Everybody's telling you how great you are. You done got drafted, so everybody really loves you. All the articles are positive about you. And then you get to rookie minicamp, and that coach that was telling you all this nice stuff, now it's different. Now it's, son, I don't care about what you did at Alabama. I don't care what you did at Penn State or Illinois, because there's no noise in Illinois. Shout out. My wife has been killing me about this. She saw the video I was doing the Kendrick Green breakdown. I was like, yeah, from Illinois. She said, babe, there's no noise in Illinois. And I was like, oh.
That's not even that bad, though.
Oh,
that's not a bad one.
So she just kept giving, it's not Illinois, it's Illinois. And I was like, oh, okay, babe, I get you. I'm sorry for speaking out of, not being proper with it. But either way,
that's not a bad slip up.
But either way, it's all good. But as a whole,
it's the ones closest to you that get on you the most.
I'm laying in bed. I'm just like, yo, did you really just stab me like that? Like, bruh, I was just chilling here. Like, I'm thinking we're good. But thanks for tuning in, babe. Subscribe. But going back to, when you get to that rookie minicamp, bro, and like I said, man, these coaches that had spoken nice to you, obviously when you were either at the combine or at the pro day or when you come on your visit and stuff like that, you actually get here and that's when it starts to change. Now it's, man, how long is it going to take you to get this? I thought you were a smart player. You were versatile, man. I had a coach tell me, man, you look fast at JMU. I don't know what happened. Like, did your legs stop working? I'm just like, coach, I don't really know what I'm supposed to do. So I'm struggling that way. No, man, I don't want to hear that. And then they don't tell you also, because it's rookie minicamp, the numbers aren't as large. So typically you taking a lot more reps than you normally would.
Sure.
And after a season, typically this is like when you're out of shape time frame. Oh, man, they kill you. Man, I thought you could play 60, 70 snaps. Lord, why you tapping your helmet after 3 plays in practice? Kill you. But that's what I think of when I think of rookie minicamp, baby.
Najee Harris is saying it's easier.
I know, right? Hey, look, that's the thing. I was like, man, that's what I said. What did I start with? I said, we got to shout out Najee Harris. Before we even talk rookie minicamp, we got to shout out Najee because to me, I'm just like, bruh, my man said it was easier. I said, yo, how? Like, that's what y'all doing at Bama? Like, what in the world, man?
I wonder how much of it he was talking in a total day of the practice, getting ready for games, studying, plus the homework, school, whatever it is. I wonder if that was it, or was he just talking about straight up practice?
Because that's initially, I thought the same thing. Initially, I was like, okay, is it just practice? And then I was like, maybe he's talking about the full day, because I did feel similar in terms of in college, your day is 6 or 7 a.m. workout. Then after that, you got classes from 8 or 9 o'clock to 1 or 2 o'clock. Then practice from 3 to 5, film session, for another 30, 40 minutes. And after that, you're done. But it's not a lot of football. You notice it was only the weightlifting in the morning, the practice, you got a little 30 or hour meeting before practice, 30 minutes or hour meeting after practice. Whereas at the NFL level, there is no class in between there. It's just meetings. It's just that part of it. But during rookie minicamp as well, the schedule is a little bit condensed just because it is a mini camp and it's not a full in-season schedule. But as a whole, I'm just like, dang, dude, like, shout out to you that you even felt it was easy. Like, I didn't even think to utter those words, man. But that's how you know you're a bad man, bro.
Now, this is a little bit of a side note going back to your rookie mini camp. Now, I know you were a 6th-round pick. And with some of these first-round picks, a lot of times the teams will take them on like a tour of the facilities and stuff. Usually the day after they're drafted or a couple days after, you get the videos and stuff they're posting on social media. What is that time frame? Or what did you do? What do most people do? They like celebrate that night when you get drafted, get hammered? Because I'm thinking if you're a first rounder, they go to the facilities like the next day.
First rounders is
But
different.
Is it every other round you could just celebrate?
No. First round is different. First round, you got to pay the, do the deals. You got to fly out, but they flying them on the private. So it's different. I'm like, I don't really feel a lot of remorse or sorrow for them. Cause I'm like, you're flying in to be, red carpet rolled out, everybody loving you. You get to pick your number first. You get all the new gear before any of us other draft picks do. The rest of us, they're going to send you a box, about a week or two later. And then after that, it's whatever you get when you actually come to the facility. So when I got drafted, like it took me probably like 2 weeks before I even got anything Bills related. And I remember being upset because in Buffalo, they had pushed our mini camp a week back. So we went a week after all my other guys who I had known or trained with. So everybody else is having their new gear. And I'm just like, yeah, guys, I haven't reported just yet. So I don't have anything. And it was not cool. But yeah, when you're a first rounder, man, you're going to get the full gamut. Like, it's nice. It's nice.
But everyone else, do you just celebrate that night, or do you have that mentality of like, oh, I'm ready, I'm working out first thing tomorrow morning?
Some guys I know did work out the same day they got drafted. Me, I celebrated. I celebrate like a big dog too, man. I'm just
couple days.
No, I ain't give it a couple days, man. Because like part of me, I had already been celebrating because it was like, yo, I know it's gonna happen. But
you were getting nervous though.
No, not nervous.
6th round.
Pissed. More because you know the story. It was more so turned into like I'm pissed with everyone. Football is over, like it's done with, right? But once it did happen, I did get drafted. For me, man, we went and celebrated like big dogs. We went to Golden Corral like you supposed to do when you get drafted. I walked in, I said, look, buffet steaks on everyone. Now, granted, I hadn't got my check just yet, so I was still using my agent's advance money. But still, because that's the thing, everybody thinks as soon as you get drafted, oh, you got the money right now. I ain't get that money until about a month later. But either way, when I walked in to go to Cry, you couldn't tell me I wasn't big dog. So when I walked in, I'm like, hey, we doing this, man. I say, yo, adult meals for everybody. I want the nice steaks that cost extra. We want drinks that don't get free refills. That's what we on tonight. And that's how we celebrate it, man. So I hit it hard.
What'd you do about the ice cream machine?
Oh, man. We broke it down.
Really?
That's how we live, man. That's how we was on.
I was thinking that today. I was like, what? Yeah. What did each pick do? And does it depend on round? Because like we were just talking about round one, you kind of got to be on your P's and Q's for those first couple days, I think.
Be, uptight. Whereas we get to be a little looser, but we don't have the same job security either. So it's a lot more pressure once we get in here. Like, yo, we better make sure we're producing because we don't have this leash. But either way, man, it's a dope little vibe, man. But like I said, shout out to Najee though, man. That's awesome, man. I like to hear that. And something else, and actually before I get into the extra part, because I
see some green.
I think it's when you see the green, we got to stop the show. Shout out to CMF Trucking. Welcome to the upper room. Always good to see you, baby. Yes, indeed. Welcome to the family. Also, man, make sure you enjoy that Isaiah Loudermilk film session that's available to you right now as a members only, early access thing, man. So shout out to you for that, man. But going back to Najee, another thing that I was liking in terms of the reports that I was seeing, not only what he had said, but what the coaches had said, they talked about his conditioning. They talked about how like he was just the best conditioned athlete on the field. To me, I love that, man. Whenever you get the quote unquote leader of the class, right? The first round draft pick, you want him to stand out. You want him to look like he's the first round pick. I don't like it when you come in there, you're like, well, which one of these guys is supposed to be the top guy? Because it's not looking good right here. I want to see the guy that's out in front.
That's
I want to see. Yeah, it's definitely happy. You're like, bro, which one of y'all want a first round draft pick? Oh, okay. Yes.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. Like seriously, bro. It multiple times I've seen it, man.
All right, so this is a really good perspective.
Seriously, bro.
This is really good to hear.
Yeah, so to see, at least from a conditioning standpoint, that he is out there and he's a highly conditioned athlete, that speaks volumes. And to just see in terms of what they're talking about, what they've been doing with him, the different things they're asking him to do from a receiver, just a positional flexibility standpoint. I like that because if he can handle it early on in rookie minicamp, just imagine once he's had a couple of weeks in training camp with this thing on top of OTAs, on top of this, like it's going to keep stacking. And every time you're getting that same information over and over. And that's how you build that rapport. That's how you help it stay in your brain. So now it becomes second nature. You're not thinking when you're playing, you're just getting after it now. So to see Najee already be able to display some of that, man, I like that a lot.
Yeah, for sure. And to piggy off the conditioning thing, I was reading something that Tomlin's usually not the first guy to praise someone's conditioning. He's usually someone to say like, hey, man, we got to get this conditioning up. We got to get up to speed for game time.
Yeah.
But for him to be praising Harris right off the bat like that, that's got to speak volumes. Another thing, too, is he's really good with the media. We're seeing all these videos and stuff. Like, you got to love that, I guess, personability that he has. And just not giving canned answers. Like, he's obviously kind of thoughtful in his responses. He's just not going to give you something that's bullshit. Yeah. So, yeah, dude, everything just right off the bat's looking like, all right, rookie of the year.
Well, I want rookie of the year. I was gonna say GOAT. Just GOAT. That's why I was ready to crown him, man. Best running back the Steelers ever had.
He's on a good trajectory right now. That's tough though. We got some studs. Some studs.
My man just literally had a rookie minicamp. We're like, yo, just crown him. Just put it on him.
I could see the pathway for it. I'll put it that way.
Shout out to Deke.
I could see the pathway.
Did you say the same thing about McFarland?
I don't know about that.
Are you sure? I could have sworn you said something. I'm gonna check. I could have sworn you said something like that though.
No. I may have comped him to Kamara.
That's what it was.
I don't think anything about Steeler great running backs.
You gave him the Kamara comp.
We need to see him on the field first. But with Harris, we already know he's going to be RB1 right off the bat.
Well, and Kenneth Beamerman, shout out to Kenneth. He's a part of the upper room. He agrees with you. He also says rookie of the year. That's what it's going to be, man.
He's got to be the favorite. He's got to be one of the favorites. Definitely.
No, without a doubt. He's at a position, number one, where he's going to get a lot of touches. He's also on a team that's going to feature him, and he's on a team that's going to be in the spotlight a lot. Those right there are the three prime recipes in terms of being in that conversation. And he plays offense. That's a huge, huge boost, man. So I like that as well, man. And just in terms of not even rookie of the year, their offense or defense rookie of the year, but just like getting attention like that.
Oh, yeah.
Being on offense, man, is going to be a huge asset for him. Whereas defensively, it's certain positions that no matter how great you are, as a rookie, you're not going to get that type of notoriety. You're not going to get that type of recognition defensively. But for him being on offense, I think that's going to help him out a ton even more.
I know you're real big into fantasy.
Uh-oh.
People are saying he's going to go first round.
He should. He's going to be a volume player.
He definitely is.
I mean, the same way people were drafting James, not this past year, the year before, right? When, when Le'Veon first left that year, I think it'd be a similar thing for Najee because everything is saying he is going to be the feature. He's going to be getting all these touches, both as a runner and as a receiver. So, heck yeah. I mean, if I'm drafting him, if I got a chance to get him, I'm going to get him. I'm just throwing it out there.
Do you have any other takeaways on minicamp? I watched the Steelers YouTube highlights for it, and it got me really hyped because it was done really well, man.
Did you see the one hand behind? Dude,
Loudermilk looked
crazy.
Like a Pro Bowler. Quincy Roche, I was like, dude, this guy's going to be Bud Dupree's replacement. We already saw the 48. I'm like, wow, this dude could be starting right off the bat.
He put the 48 on. I thought
Kendrick Green, 5'3".
I thought initially Quincy had a single digit, bro, or like a 22 or something like that.
That's all the jersey swaps. I think they had him.
Okay.
I think the one that I sent you maybe, or we put on one of these covers, they had him at number 2, which is impossible, but was he number 2 in Miami or was he number 6?
He was 6 at Miami, right? Yeah, he was 6 at Miami because Russo was Russo 15 and Phillips was 15? I think Phillips was 15. So yeah, he was 6 then.
Either way, I sent you a cover with him number 2, so that's why it was.
I was like, I thought he had a single digit when I seen him, man.
Yeah, 48. Kendrick Green, 53. Yeah. How do you feel about that? They were saying the Steelers just gave it to him. Like there was no like, hey, we're gonna hold it for a little bit. Kendrick Green asked for it. Steelers gave it to him.
Well, maybe they reached out to Pouncey, and Pouncey said, "Look, man, he has my blessing." Maybe that's what happened.
Maybe because I think Pouncey reached out to Green. They talked. It was nothing about the number, but then Green just requested 53 just because he liked the number. He had it in college, and they mentioned nothing about Pouncey. Pouncey never mentioned anything to Green about the number. They just gave him 53. So maybe there was some behind the scenes work with Pouncey and the Steelers. You might be right there.
Okay. I'm hoping that's what it was because, this is big Pouncey. You know what I'm saying? You don't just give out Pouncey's number.
No.
You can't just give out his number, baby.
Who was wearing 84? Was it Rico Bussey or Sexton?
Rico was, yeah. Is he still wearing 84?
Well, one of them was someone. I guess someone has to wear 84 just because you have so many numbers.
Well, because right now it's 90 people on the roster.
Yeah.
But we'll see when it comes to actual 53-man roster week 1. Who has what number then? Because that's another thing that I've seen where you might have this number during the preseason, but you're not going to be wearing this number when the season starts. I've seen that as well, man. So, we'll see how the thing go. We'll see how it goes, though.
92 Loudermilk.
Yeah. Well, because they had already given out 92. That was
Adaney.
Well, no, before Ola, it was somebody else it was like an off-season time frame, though. Because we remember we were joking about it. We were like, see, if you would have made the active roster, you could have kept this number. But he ended up being on practice squad. So when Debo came back, was that week 3 or week 4, Debo was able to just, give me that. That's mine. And we saw him switch and it was just, he had the sick face like, my mom's got the name. He's like, I don't care. Like, it's mine.
I got one more thing. Pat Freiermuth, it's official. Hates the nickname Baby Gronk.
I saw that.
Respect. I like it. You confronted it right off the bat. We're not going to call you that again. I have no desire to call you that. You're not going to go with 87. You picked the 88 instead.
There it is.
So that's perfect, man. He's trying to carve out his own name. We just need a nickname now. I don't know what it's going to be. Pat Attack? I don't know.
Petite Gronk.
No.
He said no, call him Baby Gronk.
We can't do it. I got to respect him. We got to think of something, though, man.
Yeah.
Because we could do the whole Muth thing when he catches the ball, but that's still an ode to Heath.
Yeah.
We'll have to come up with a nickname. Should come naturally, though. If your play speaks for itself, something's just going to click.
It's going to happen. Because Pat is fire. And shout out to Kenneth. Everybody feels that Pat is the man. We agree. Pat is that dude. But yeah, we got to come. What are we going to call Pat, man? Because I did see that about the Baby Gronk. And I was like, I can respect that right there. Man.
Yeah, because he was.
Yeah, I can respect that.
He was really thorough about it. He was just like, I hate it. Trying to find my own lane.
Yeah. Well, and for him, you got to think, would you really, that's lofty, like Baby Gronk. Think about what Gronk is, man. Gronk is like that dude.
Yeah, he's the best tight end of the past decade.
Great, yeah. So that is a heck of an expectation. We even flirted with the idea of when we would talk about it, we instantly go to where Gronk is now, established Hall of Famer. We're like, well, we got to think back to like when he was beginning. That's why the comparison, not where he's already at. But yeah, without a doubt, man, it makes sense. I can see that.
Baby Gronk kind of sucks too as a nickname. Like you wouldn't want baby in your nickname. At least Claypool's like Mapletron.
It depends. I mean, the little baby, duh baby. It's a lot of babies out here, man. Babies is hip.
No. When it's a derivative of someone else's name, though, that's kind of a bad look. Yeah, you're right. Like the baby's kind of cool.
Yeah, that ain't the baby. That's my baby. That's what he said.
Just as that name, the baby, that's fine. But to be like Baby Gronk,
that's Gronk's the baby. Yeah.
Like, dude, just think of a quarterback coming in and they're being compared to someone like, oh, they're Baby Rodgers, they're Baby Brady. Like that's a bad look, kind of. That is kind of a bad look.
Have we compared anybody? What we do? We still do that now. We still be like, oh, he looks like a little Brady. We said about Mac Jones.
Yeah, but we never say baby in front of the name. It has to just be because it's Gronk and he acts like a kid still. Maybe it just flows like that. Baby Gronk. That is an easy nickname, but I see where he's coming from. So I'm never calling him that again.
All right. Well, in the chat, we got some people that have a couple of nicknames for him. We're just going to read them off and see,
Pat Attack.
Yeah, we'll see what you're thinking, man.
Isn't the best, you mean?
I did kind of like Pat Attack, just a little bit. All right. Call him Frank. Don't call him Gronk, call him Frank. All right, I like that. All right, he said a lot of people are saying Heath or Muth. Patty. Okay, shout out to that. You can go Patty because I'm part Irish, so I could get along with that. Why are you laughing? I am part Irish. You know this.
I believe it. Yeah,
I am. I did my ancestry.com. I got Irish in me, bro.
What's the percent?
Don't worry about that. It's in there. I'm Scottish too, man. Don't play, bro.
Damn.
Hey, I'm versatile, bro. I'm exotic. Yeah. People been calling me African. Like, listen, man. I got layers, bro. You know what I'm saying? I got some Irish. I got some Scottish in me, man.
Sure.
I'll show up in a kilt next episode, man. Like that's the energy I'm on today. But Patty, I like Patty. All right. Let's see what else we have over here, man, for the nicknames. Oh, Friar Train. This is from David St. Louis. Shout out to David St. Louis, man.
That's not bad.
Friar Train. I could dig that. Yeah, or F Train. That's another one.
Oh, F Train. That's not bad.
F Train sounds clean. Hit him with the F Train.
That's not bad.
However he wants to, Or it could be the hit him with the bird.
Yeah, he scores a touchdown, and you could have that up on the high school billboard whenever he scores, just a train rolling by. That'd be sick, yeah.
Like, it's marketable.
It definitely is. That's not bad. That's a good one.
I like that. And that was from David. Shout out to David in St. Louis. I'm assuming you're in St. Louis since it says David St. Louis for the name. All right. CMF Trucking. He says Big Pat. Like Big Pat. I mean, you can't go.
It's simple. Yeah, you can't go wrong with that.
Simple yet effective. I like that. Now, this is one of my favorites I like right here. Shout out to Scotty Drippin. Project Pat. Come on, man. Gotta get a little project.
That's pretty good.
I like it. It gets the nostalgia going for me as well. I think that's what it is, man.
That's a good one.
All right, let's see what. Ooh, well, I don't. Miller Lite. I don't know.
That's a good one. That's actually a really good one. But it goes back to the Baby Gronk. Damn, that Miller Lite's a great one. I love Miller. Wow.
That is low key. All right, man.
That's a really good one.
Shout out to Antonio Goko for that right there, man. Miller Lite.
That's a good one.
That was clean. Oh, that was clean.
That's a good one. That might be the best one.
Well, like you said, it still plays off
of someone else. Yeah. And obviously, he doesn't like that.
Yeah.
I don't blame him either.
I like it, though.
It's a good one.
That's a clean name. That's a clean name. Patty the Fratty or Patty the Fatty. Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Shout out to Fonny Boy for that one. And then Juicebox 32, upper room member as well. Shout out Friar Pat. Oh, almost like the
monk.
Yeah. It's the friar. Which
it's a reverse of the name.
But it is kind of cool because you think about at St. Vincent College, you have some friars over there. They roam around the campus as well. So I mean, you can see the little, little play on it right there.
That might be better for like a Halloween costume or something.
Yes.
As opposed to nickname. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right. Ooh, Jar Devil says this. Large fry. What about that? Nah, you ain't feeling large fry?
Nah.
Because you got big fries, small fries, large fry.
What right now we got F Train and Project Pat. Those are the top two. Yeah,
because we're not rolling with Miller Lite.
I mean, Miller Lite's in there. I mean, he might just have to deal with that one.
Miller Lite is
cool. He might.
Listen, do you want us to call you Heath or you want to be called Miller Lite?
Like
you
decide. If that catches steam, he's just gonna have to live with that one.
That thing is dope, bro.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a hard name. All right, let me see. It's St. Patty's Day every day. See, I like that.
St. Patty.
Mm-hmm.
St. Patty's not a bad
Absolutely. Well, that's from DC TV right there. So I'm with that. Okay. Oh, this is a clean one too. From Central Leah 83. Wildcat Pat.
I'm not a fan.
You ain't feeling that?
I like the St. Pat. I like the St. Patty because it
I'm saying some more St.
plays
Pat.
off the Freiermuth a little bit, but it's in a subtle way because it's not using that part of the last name saying Friar. St. Patty. It plays into like that Catholicism.
So now St. Patty or St. Pat though? Because I kind of like St. Pat because St. Patty is going to roll to like, oh, it's a St. Patty's Day. Then he has to be Irish the whole time. He can go St. Pat though. And that's going to be a vibe. I think I like St.
Pat. Yeah.
And it's a good amount of Irish people, that are part of Still a Nation. Me being one of them. So with that being said, man, we would love to embrace him in part of our Irish community, our Irish culture.
Sure.
I am, bro.
I do believe you. Maybe.
I'm gonna post my results one day, bro. I'm dead serious though, bro. I got Irish in me, man. I was even working out earlier, and I had Irish pub music playing, bro.
Okay.
It was like.
I know what song you're talking about.
I just over
Dropkick Murphy.
It's dope, bro. Yeah. Oh, Freierstein, like Frankenstein, but Freierstein. A lot of people, we're seeing some Project Pat. People like Project Pat and Pat Attack.
Pat Attack. That was
the Pat Attack. Stat Pat. Firehouse Prime Minister Pat. Wow.
I think it's too long.
That's a long name, man. And Thomas Riley, he says that we both need to wear kilts. just in honor of my heritage, bro. No?
Well, St. Patty's Day's passed.
It's okay. When you're with an Irish person, though, it's always St. Patrick's Day. For us Irish people, it's like, man, St. Patty's Day is cool. Well, we do this year round, man.
Can you do like a half Patty's Day? Like some people do half
Patty's?
Yeah, half Christmas people do in July sometimes.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, you didn't know that?
I did not know that. Half Christmas?
It's just an excuse to drink, yeah.
Oh, well, I don't need an excuse for that. I'm with it, baby.
I think July 25th maybe it is, or August 25th.
I want to get invited to a half Christmas day, and if we just drink.
Yeah,
I'll bring the
so you can do like half Patty's Day. Maybe it's October, November.
I'm with it, bro. I'm with it. Hey, at a tailgate.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can do it half patties.
Bro. Half patty for all my Irish people out there. I come up, we'll be kilted up with a jersey on, and then we'll go from there to make it work, man.
Damn.
Oh, all right. A couple more before we transition out of this nickname, because I don't even know how we got on the Pat Freiermuth nickname. Oh, well, I guess because we were talking Minicamp, and he is a part. Okay, so we're good there. Man of Steel. Oh, all right. Shout out to Jose.
Damn, they're going there.
Put Morejo for that one. Man of Steel.
He's just Superman now.
Yeah, and then Frankie Brown says Pat Man. I do.
Wow, that's not bad.
Like it.
That's not bad.
And it's a subtle onto, who was over in Cincy. Like, yo, we take your nickname and make it our nickname because he was Pac-Man. And we got
I didn't even think of that. Because I was thinking more Batman.
Batman, too.
But you're right.
Gotham City was filmed. You know how we do it here, man?
Batman. That's a good one. That's a really good one. I could see that one sticking.
I like that. Batman.
That's a good one.
That's a clean one. You get the nostalgia also for the Pac-Man people, not even the player, but the game part of it, right? So you got a couple options with that one. That's underrated right there. Shout out to you, Frankie Brown, for that. That's a clean one, man.
Profound at the same time.
Now, Charlie Dole, he's on it again. He says, Muth will resonate at Highsmith. He feels like that's the easiest.
I think it will, but we might need a nickname, though.
You're right, because we can have Muth when he catches it, but call him something else.
Something to tweet out. F-Train with the touchdown.
Absolutely.
Project Pat with the touchdown.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's Patman. I think Patman's gonna be the easiest one.
Thomas Riley agrees. Thomas says Patman is the best so far.
I think it is.
I think it says Tiles Levy says Saint Pat. I'm with it. Anything from our Irish culture, bro. I'm with it.
We got a good like 4 or 5.
What about Fire Mode? You like that?
Fire Mode. I'm not a fan.
Money Muth.
Oh, that's a good one.
I like Money
because it goes with the Muth thing.
Yeah, I like Money Muth.
I like that one.
Money Muth. That's a clean one. Hey, shout out to Zachary Bird. Shout out to you, man. Absolutely. Oh, all right. Let me see if I can pronounce this right. So Nikki says Freierstein, like Frankenstein. Then Mike says Pat Kinston. Pat Kinston, like Pakistan, but Pat Kinston. I was like, make sure I'm pronouncing that right. No. It's too hard.
Yeah, I'm good on that.
Patty Flipper. What about Patty Flipper?
No.
You feeling Patty Flipper?
I'm good on that.
And then it's the last one I'm gonna read. Then we're gonna move. No, I got two. Muth mode. How you like Muth mode? I was reading. I was about to read mouth mode because they typed it as mouth. But I think it's Muth mode.
What was the other one with Muth in it? that we said was good?
Oh man, with Muth. Oh, I'm trying to blank. It wasn't Freiermuth. No, Money Muth. That's what it was. Money Muth.
That one's better than that one.
All right, and then Pat Shiesty. You know, you got Pooh Shiesty, because Pooh Shiesty, you know, that's my dog, but Pooh, you know, he really shiesty. Like, Pat is really, really shiesty, bro.
That's not a bad one.
He could be Pat Shiesty.
That's not bad.
I like it, low-key.
That's not bad.
I don't know how the more mature crowd is gonna resonate with it, but for our age group and under, we know we hit with it. I like it. Pat Shiesty. Pat Shiesty, that's my dog. But Shiesty, Taco Deke, he's really shiesty, man. I just, you know, taco meat, baby. Let's get it.
Yeah. There's a few good ones there.
I'm feeling the Pat Shiesty for some reason. It's just like,
that's not bad. Yeah.
I don't know if it's the song. I don't know what it's. I need it. Yeah,
that's not bad. Yeah, there's about 4 or 5 I really like.
I like it.
I don't know how it's gonna happen. I don't know if we're building it up too much before the nickname happens.
Sometimes that's more fun than the actual nickname.
That's what I mean.
So this is a segment right here where what is Pat Freiermuth's nickname? Like Pat Shiesty, Shiesty Pat, Patty Smalls. Shout out the super dude, bro, for that one. You know, baby. I'm just saying, bro. We got options, man.
There's a lot of options. There's a lot of creativity.
I'm with all of it. That's all I'm saying, man. I'm with it all.
Yeah, Miller Lite just seems like it's way in the past right now with all these new nicknames. Seriously.
See, because we figured this thing out, man. We figured out, okay, this is what we need to do, man. We got to find what makes the most sense and something that's original, something that he's not going to feel, oh, I'm only doing this because I know this guy. No. You doing this because you legit, baby.
I agree. It can't be something related to Heath because we saw how he felt about the baby Gronk. But Miller Lite was clean. But there's been a lot of good nicknames that have been coming in, man.
The Notorious Muth. Notorious. I'm loving it.
It doesn't even rhyme.
It doesn't have to rhyme, bro. It's dope. You got the Notorious B.I.G., the Notorious M.U.T.H., or the Notorious P.A.T.
Notorious Pat.
The Notorious P.A.T.
McGregor already has that, doesn't he?
But McGregor took it from Biggie Smalls.
I know. But...
so Pat can take it from Biggie Smalls as well. McGregor is not Biggie Smalls. That's all I'm saying. Like, we know McGregor. We call him the Mac. Yeah, it's the Mac. You know, we got you on that. But he walks out to who? Biggie Smalls. We know who he gets it from. Man, he's paying homage. And Pat could do the same thing.
Return of the Pat.
Return of the Pat.
That's a good one. That's a good end zone song right there.
It is. I say either that or Notorious. He could just go ahead and take the full kind of thing and roll with that song because it's a dope song. He could roll with that. Or he could go with the Pat Shiesty, Pooh Shiesty. He could go with that, get it back in blood every time he scores. You know, he has that option as well. Or old school Project Pat. Just, you know.
Money Muth.
He got options, man.
Saint Pat.
He got options.
F Train. Yeah, there's some good ones.
F Train is hard. And shout out to Pat Daddy. I like Juicebox on that one. Juicebox 32.
Yeah.
Pat Daddy. That's a clean one.
That's a good one too.
It's clean. We're gonna revisit this though, man. We're gonna revisit this because y'all trying to have us in here for 3 hours again. And Deke is not going for it, all right? He is not going for it today. He said no 3-hour podcast tonight. All right.
I'm rejuvenated though. You see my tones completely changed, man. Yeah.
I can't. It's y'all. It's not. It's y'all. Y'all give us this energy. It's the live element. If we weren't live right now, I don't think it'd be the same vibe.
Probably not, yeah.
But with it being live and we can get this feedback as it's happening, man, and just
we would have come up with 2 or 3 nicknames and probably just went to the next segment.
Bro. But this has been a dope little just sidebar. Like, I like it. Now, Watson Graham Jr. I like the whole play on. We were talking Man of Steel. We talked that. You called him Hands of Steel. I don't necessarily want him to have Hands of Steel because I just don't like the meaning. Like when I think of hands, I think of like a guy who can't catch.
Dropping the ball.
Yeah. That's my only thing, baby. All right. So I like the steel part, just not the hands of steel. You know, maybe like shoulders of steel because he's running through everybody, or stiff arm of steel. But then that's probably Vince.
It's too much.
It's too much. But either way, he can't have hands of steel. We need him to have soft hands, like a baby's bottom, so you can just catch it and bring it on in and make sure you look the ball in fundamentals. We talked about the fundamentals with Ebron and Deontay. Just look it in, catch it, tuck it, now go. We do this.
Yeah.
So we're good now. All right.
It'll happen. Let's just not rush it. Let's not force it.
Don't force it. Don't rush it.
No.
When did you get all this patience? Where did this start? I thought we was crowning people after like 2 minicamp practices.
Well, I think with Mapletron, it just didn't really stick. So I'm thinking with him saying he doesn't want Baby Gronk, people are going to try to rush some nickname. You just got to let it happen.
Yeah. Or you could just keep rushing it. He could just be a guy that has like, you know how you pull up certain people, they're like 3 or 4 different
Shaq.
aliases and yeah, the big Galactus, the big Cactus, the big Aristotle, the Man of Steel, the Diesel. You know what I mean? Like, what was the other one he has? Oh,
I don't know.
The Shaq Attack. I forgot that
Did you
one.
say
I mean,
Shactus?
the Shactus, the big Galactus, the big Galactica, the big Aristotle. I think that was Phoenix Shaq right there, the big Aristotle.
He probably said something about Big Leprechaun too.
Yeah, he has a name for everything, bro. He has a name for like you pull up his also no, it's like 20 nicknames up there. So Pat might be one of those guys, man. They just have 20 nicknames. Be like, yo, what do you call Pat? Well, what day of the week is it? Oh, it's Monday. I call him I call him Pat Shiesty on Mondays, but if it's on Wednesdays, I call him Money Moot. You know what I mean? It just depends.
Yeah. Either way, we got to shed that baby Gronk. I'm with him.
No more baby Gronk.
I'm done with it.
The Big Shamrock. That's what it was. Was that what it was? Or is that what we're calling Pat? I don't know.
It's Shaq. I think he might be talking Shaq.
I think that's Shaq. Yeah. I like that, though. Ooh. Muth Lastic. It's like the Muth Lastic. It stretches. He's real stretchy. Because he's tall, too, right? So when he catches oh, you don't want the Muth Lastic.
No, it's a stretch.
All right.
Are they still coming in?
They're still coming in, bro.
I see you're trying to move on, but you can't.
I can't. To Pat Shakur. Because we were going big. We were going Pat, Notorious Pat. Was it Patty Smalls? Now we got a 2 Pat Shakur. Shout out to Super Dude, bro. Clearly we got some West Coast love. My wife would be happy that I read that name off. That's the reason I had to do it, because she's a West Coast girl. She's from the Bay. That's all. She wants to hear Tupac. I'm Biggie. All right. So the fact that you came up with 2 Pat Shakur, she's going to like that. So I appreciate you getting me some brownie points. Thank you. All right. The Big Muth Mother. Whoa. Oh, the Big Mother Muth. Woo, even better. Taco Meat Muth. Shout out to Minicamp for that. Yo.
That's a good one.
All right. Look, man. We're moving on. All right. We are not going to stay here another. Bro, you realize we spent 37 minutes.
There's no way.
It's a way, bro. No exaggeration.
37? No way.
37 minutes, bro. Just right here.
There's no way.
It's not me. It's the people. They make it happen. They bring it out of us. We get up here, we get the chat, and before we know it, boom. So,
well, that was our take on the rookie minicamp, right?
Shout out to the nicknames though. But the next thing we're going to be talking about, and we're not going to spend as much time on this one. We're going to flow a little bit flowier, a little bit smoother. Sure. We're not getting distracted. We're staying focused because we got to be a tight, ran organization here, man. We're singularly focused on the task at hand. We don't allow the elevator music to distract us. We don't blink anymore. We cut our eyelids off and we make sure our work is always above the line and varsity more important. Because Deke, we used to only have red paint. And when we did that, you know what we did? We painted the barn red. We didn't try to paint the barn yellow or black when we only had red. Because we know once you take that jello out the box, you can't put it back, Deke. It's gone. All right. So now we're going to talk about these position groups, man. From the defensive side of the ball. Who's getting better? Who's getting worse?
I'm ready, yeah.
Okay. You sure?
Yeah, I'm definitely ready.
Okay. I like it.
What position we starting with?
Let's start with cornerback.
That's actually what I have written first.
Oh, perfect. Let's do that then, man.
You want to go first?
Mm-hmm.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, I want you to go right here.
Okay. Well, this one's easy, and it's easy in the wrong direction because we've gotten worse. You can't really make a case for better. Joe Hayden's a year older, which for cornerbacks probably isn't the best thing. It's not saying he's taken some steep decline. Maybe he could have a better year than last year. I don't know. It's not like he's way up there in age, but that's one thing to consider at least. But we lost our number 2 cornerback last year, Steven Nelson, who, in my opinion, was underrated both seasons, actually, 2019 and in 2020. In 2020, I know a lot of people are kind of ripping on him, especially with how he left, but I can't really name a bad game outside of the Bills game. And it felt like a lot of his big give-ups to Diggs, he was playing zone anyway. Mm-hmm. So we lose him. We also lose Mike Hilton, probably one of the best slot corners in the league. He was paid as such by our rival, Cincinnati Bengals. But we made some replacements. We replaced them with Shakur Brown, Mark Gilbert, Trey Norwood, I guess. Is he safety? Is he cornerback? DeMarcus Acey. Am I missing anyone here? in terms of replacements?
No,
and then we already have Cam Sutton on the roster still. Which, he can make a little bit of a jump. Yeah. He could make a little bit of jump, bigger role. James Pierre, Justin Lane, unknowns. They could be fine, but like I said, there's just unknowns. Losing your number 2 and number 3 cornerback and replacing them with the guys that we did, and just expecting Cam Sutton, James Pierre, Justin Lane to make as big of a jump to kind of level up with them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to say it's unrealistic, but we just not better. That's it.
For me, man, I agree with the sentiment. I don't think that we're better. I do think we're younger, though.
Yeah.
In terms of why I like youth, because we know with older players, we saw a little bit with Joe and just around the league, with older players, they do start to slow down. They do start to have some of the injuries creep in, or you could just see where things that they were able to do beforehand, they struggle with now because, like I said, they're no longer as fast or as nimble as they once were. So I do like the fact that we're a younger group in the secondary, in particular the cornerback position. Not talking safeties just yet, just the corners. But it's a lot, like I said, of unknowns, man. A lot of unproven guys. I mean, the second in charge right now is a guy that hasn't been the starter for a full season. Not once. He's spot started, or in certain packages he starts, but he hasn't been the quote unquote number 2 or number 1 corner at all in his career. So that's a big question mark in its own self. But then you think about the other guys, the younger guys, or the undrafted free agents. Are they talented? Yes. Do they have potential? Yes. But we haven't had a chance to see it against NFL competition for a 17-game schedule. And that, I think, is what, is the more unsettling part, because if we would have at least have seen a larger sample size of Justin Lane or a larger sample size of James Pierre, I think we're even more confident on those guys, right? We're definitely high on James Pierre, but it's like we're high on him from a 2 or 3 game sample size, not a 16 game, you're the legit number 3 corner body of work. So I think that part makes it a little bit unique also. But when you look at a guy like Marcus Gilbert, Mark Gilbert. Yeah, not Marcus Gilbert. Shout out to Marcus, though. He's retired. That's my dog. But a guy like Mark Gilbert or a guy like Shakur Brown, those two guys, they are versatile. Those are 2 guys where you can see, man, they have the potential to be really good players. But one has to stay healthy, and the other one just has to get back to being as productive as they can be, right? So when I think of those 2 guys, intriguing, but are they better today than Steven Nelson? Are they better today than that group that has Steven, Joe Hayden, Cam Sutton, and Mike Hilton? And to me, that's the part where they're not, because they don't have the experience that those other guys had. Even though you can make a case that this guy might be more athletic than Mike Hilton, or he might be a little bit faster than Steven Nelson, as a whole, they don't have the amount of snaps and productivity that those guys have.
No, for sure. And I think both can be true, where you're high on Justin Lane or James Pierre or Cam Sutton or just the cornerback group coming in, like you're excited.
Yeah.
But if they match Steven Nelson and Mike Hilton's production over these past couple years, like, we would be thrilled.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's the thing. We don't know if they are or not. And those guys were like really good for us these past 2 seasons. They were really solid, man. Like really good starters. So they could do it. But I don't know if that's, like I said, I don't think it's unrealistic. Like, it could happen, but we just don't know. So I can't be out here saying that we got better because we lost cornerback 2, cornerback 3. You could even consider Mike Hilton a starter if you want.
No, I mean, you look at the amount of snaps. Absolutely, man. Major productivity and just snaps, quality productivity gone with Steven Nelson and Mike Hilton. And like you said, man, even though the perception around Steven Nelson changed after he left, more so in response to how the departure was, we all said to ourselves that first year that we thought he was the best corner on this team. And then we thought last year he was still in contention with Joe Hayden. We just thought that Joe was a little bit better at the end of it. But as a whole, Steven was a very productive player in Pittsburgh.
He's 28. Like, he's in his prime. Like, he's in his prime too.
Like, we're going to talk about potential free agents that we could be looking to bring in, and he would be the perfect guy. That's the crazy part. He would be the perfect guy. But because of how everything went, like, it's just like, it's not going to work out that way.
This is an Vince Williams scenario.
Like, it's unfortunate, but we're like, dude, did the Steelers play it wrong? Like, when they had these conversations, however it played out, did they not do a good enough job of articulating to him that he is an asset? And even though we wanted to do business with Cam Sutton, we still wanted you here. Is that the case? Because we saw the confusion of, all right.
Is Cam Sutton taking the starting role?
Right. Like, it
Then
was
you're
a
hearing
lot
it
of
was just
missing
business. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on.
So I'm like, was that on them not conveying that to him clearly enough? Because we would love our situation if he was in here with this secondary right now, man. It would just be beautiful. But because he's not, it makes it a little bit, uneasy to see.
Yeah, and who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're high on Justin Lane, Pierre, even some of these undrafted guys,
Mhm.
there's nothing wrong with that. But you're right. Going back to saying to do it over a consistent 16 games, or not 16, 17 games in a regular season, that's a different story.
Yeah.
We'll find out.
All right, so let's see, man. I asked
we
some of the
both
people in the
say
chat,
worse
man.
though.
Yeah, we're definitely going with worse.
Does anyone say better?
That's what I'm trying to see if anyone said better. Look, they said the practice squad is going to be better. Yeah, it'd be a lot better. There's a lot more competition out there. Absolutely. All right. Now, people are high on some of the guys, though. Kenneth Berman, for example, he says thinks Cam Sutton is going to be fire. 3 fire emoji. Shout out to him on that. Then some people are asking about Steven Olsen. Some people want him to potentially come back. Others,
I would too.
But then there's still some people that don't think he was a good player as well, man. Like, it's just, within the chat. I don't know.
Why do they think that is the question?
That's a good question, man. Yeah, if you don't feel that, Steven is a good player, or if y'all thought he was garbage, just, share with us in the chat why.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm missing. I
thought he was a good player,
give
man.
up any big plays.
The Bills game, that was the one.
And in 2019, right?
And then obviously
Against
at the beginning of the season, we talked about just the different like slipping or the lack of tightness in certain coverages. But as a whole, I thought he was fine. Like, need better cleats, but other than that, I thought it was cool. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that, worse. We're gonna be worse.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Like I just don't really see a world where we're gonna be looking back and, oh, this is so much better. That's the thing. As long as it's as good, I'm fine with that.
Yeah, because I'm trying to see as soon as we asked about why people wouldn't like Nelson, everybody came to his defense. Nelson was legit. He was good. All right, so here we go right here. Let's see. Steven Nelson. He said he let quite a few big plays go, and then when he was picked on, he didn't perform, and that was from Cordy Q.
I just don't remember. Is there a specific game or
like
player,
I said,
matchup?
I remember just the opening game against the Giants, but that was still more so on the other corner than Steven, just based on the coverage itself, the cover 3 concept, zombie, route combo. Like,
it was Darius Slayton, right?
Yeah, it was Darius Slayton, but it wasn't on Steven. It was on the y'all catch my drift, man. It was on another player that was in the secondary. All right, we done broke this down. We ain't gonna go through it again, but. That I'm trying to think.
Stephon Diggs in the Bills game. That was it. But I swear to God, we were playing like back, and it was almost like a zone where quick slants to Diggs, and then we just wrap up a tackle after 10 or 15 yards. Yeah. But then going back to 2019, John Brown did have a really good game against them.
Yeah, it was the Bills games both years.
I can't think of anything else though, dude. He had good game against the Eagles this year, 2 interceptions. Yeah. I thought the cornerbacks were really good this year. Like, that's the thing. Like, we did have the miscommunications early on, but I didn't think cornerbacks were our issue. Our issue in the Browns game was just getting run over.
Like, I'm seeing more people say that he was better. It was more so because he was better in year 1 than he was in year 2. We do agree he took a step back in year 2, but I don't think he took a step back to being bad. I think he just took a step back to being just regular good, whereas that year 1, you can make a case for all pro for him. Like, we were talking about him versus guys like Tre'Davious White and Stephon Gilmore. It was like the biggest difference was they travel or follow number 1 receivers, where he alternates because Joe is on the other side, so they don't have to flip flop. But we thought as a whole, like, he was playing to that level, and he had the statistics to back it up as well. But yeah, man,
that can happen on a year-to-year basis too, where you have a really good season, then the next one's just not as good. But then maybe that third season you get back maybe in between those 2 seasons or almost close back to that first one. Yep. So I don't think it's like some type of crazy drop-off because we just went through this season. I can't think of anything, dude. I can't think of anything where I'm sitting back and I'm like, oh, man, he got burned all this time. He's really screwing us. Yeah. Whereas like back in, between like 2012 to 2014, 15, be complaining about the corners all the time.
Absolutely.
I didn't have too much against the cornerbacks this year outside of those first couple weeks where it felt like those miscommunication things. I think Joe Hayden maybe got burned in that Colts game on the play action, Phillip Rivers. Dude, there's nothing that really comes to mind though right now. A lot of us getting burned, I thought were just like tight ends and running backs.
Yeah,
in my opinion,
we struggled with tight ends.
It wasn't the
bad
receivers.
last year,
It wasn't
man.
like outside receivers.
Yeah, tight ends cooked us. Outside of Philly, we had the only group of receivers that really like.
Oh shit.
Yeah,
actually, yeah.
Philly,
Fulgham. We should check the tape.
Yes,
Who was Fulgham going up against?
It was Fulgham and Ward. Both of them dudes like. Philly.
Actually, that would be a good answer.
Yeah, Philly. They whoa.
That wouldn't be a bad one to look back on.
Yes, because I was gonna say because Denver. It was the tight ends. Denver was the tight end. Yeah.
Same was Washington.
Washington was the tight end. I'm trying to think. Houston.
It was Thomas and McKissick. McKissick went off in the second half.
Yeah. We didn't have a lot. Yeah, Philly though. Philly. They were different. They got us.
But still, either way, that goes back to me saying it was beginning of the season. Like,
but it was like first 3-4 games. Absolutely. Yeah. All right. So I think
I would take Steven Nelson. Yeah, I would take Steven Nelson back. I don't see how we lost Steven Nelson and Mike Hilton.
Yeah.
So.
Mike Hilton is like, dude, the productivity just with him alone is insane, bro. So yeah, without a doubt, man. Without a doubt.
Unfortunately, worse.
Yes.
Unfortunately. As long as we can get close to what we were last year, I think maybe there might be some upside on these other positions that could pick up for it.
I'm with it, man. Now, before we switch to the next defensive position group, we have a super chat person over here, man. And we know when the super chat comes in,
this is teal.
It pops up because, I mean, the money, well, you pay certain things and you can control the topics. That's how it works. It depending on how much you pay, depending on how soon we're going to read this topic. So it was Till, right? So it had to wait till we finished. Now, the last couple ones you saw.
Can run the show.
You remember you saw the other ones, right? It was like bright yellow. It was gold. We was like, yo. The gold one, it costs a little more, so we're going to hop right into that thing. But since this was Till, we was like, we're going to wait till we finish.
Oh, yeah.
It's the hierarchy, you know what I mean? I don't make this up. Just shout out to YouTube. They did this. I didn't know this.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I can't even tell the difference over here.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah. But this is from Joel Hernandez. Shout out to Joel. We appreciate you and the support. So, Joel says this, different topic, but if we can cut the drops from 41 to maybe 20, what's the ceiling for our wide receivers? I personally think, man, they could be best in the league.
Sure.
Like, in terms of a group, they are very talented. Deontay Johnson, we talked about him, man. We think that he could be an up-and-coming star if he's more consistent. The big part of his consistency is the drops, right? We got to see better or less drops and just more consistency from that part of his game. And I also think mentally for him, just not getting down on himself after a bad play. If he can get that part of his game corrected, man, I think that he would probably be the best of the group. I love Claypool's game, but Claypool's game is going to be more dictated on quarterbacks being able to get him the ball because how he stretches it downfield, unless you're giving him the reverse, which I don't want to see another jet sweep with Chase Claypool. Now that I got that off my chest, I love his game too, but I do think that it's going to be more dependent on who can stretch the field and things like that. Whereas Deontay, we know he can go deep, but he also, the short to intermediate and the way that you get him the ball early on, he's one of those guys. He's going to be a volume touch guy. And I just think the productivity is going to obviously follow that. And then you got Juju. I mean, you can't go wrong with Juju, man. That's Mr. Consistency, steady Eddie right there, tough as nails. And he just loves the Pittsburgh atmosphere. And he's playing on a 1 year, so extra motivation, baby. And shout out to James Washington, man. I like that. We're James Washington guys.
Sure.
We are, man. What are your thoughts on him, man?
Well, you're right. You cut those drops from whatever it was, 20 or 40 to 20. So right there, Deontay from last season, he's over 1,000 yards and he's over 100 receptions. I don't know how many drops Juju had, but he was at like 97 receptions. I think he was around 900 yards. But you add the 17th game in this season, there's a world where all three of them get over 1,000 yards.
Now, does that water down the product though of the 1,000 yards?
That's what I was gonna ask. What's the milestone now? Could it be 1,100?
Yeah, because I'm like, if I'm a running back, 1,000 yards isn't as glamorous. Or imagine Derrick Henry, right? Him getting 2,000 yards on the ground last year was crazy because he had to do it in 16 games. Now with guys having an extra game, we might see a couple of guys get to that 2,000 yard mark now in terms of being more frequent with it. So that's the part I'm ready to see that too, man.
Just imagine when it goes to 18.
Shit. I tell you what, man, if I had escalators in my contract right now, I'd be so happy.
It really sucks because to go from 3 digits, 900 to 1,000, that makes it the perfect milestone.
Mm-hmm.
To say, oh man, the milestone, what makes you good is 1,100. That sounds weird because baseball, it's when you hit 300.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And usually when it's the home runs, it's like 20, 30, 40 home run. Hockey, it's goals, 20, 30, 40. To go from 1,000 to 1,100, that doesn't sound right.
It doesn't.
Like, oh man, a successful season for a running back is 1,100. It's so much easier to just say 1,000.
Yeah, because 1,500 is gonna be too gaudy. You can go 1,300 maybe.
1,250, dude. It's not right.
Yeah.
It doesn't hit.
But
I guess we
that's
could
gonna be the issue though.
I guess we could stick with 1,000 because if you think of it, translate that to 16. That's still 920 yards that's still a good season.
No, it is. But now I can see though why like some of the older players, for example, they complain when we talk statistics and things. They're like, well, we only played 14 games. Y'all playing 16, or we only played this many games. Like you think of Calvin Johnson and Randy Moss
probably another way to put it. We only throw the ball this many times in a game.
Yeah. So like, imagine 10 years from now when it's 17 or 18 games per year normally, and the receivers are putting up numbers, and they're like, "Yo, his numbers are better than Moss's right now. This is crazy." And we're like, "Wait a minute."
That might only be receivers though. I don't know if running backs are touching like Priest Holmes, Sean Alexander, Ricky Williams type years.
They could though. I definitely think pass rushers are going to benefit.
Okay.
TJ Watt with an extra game. Come on, man.
What's the record? Is it 22 on
22,
the sacks?
22 and a half straight hand.
Yeah. Oh, so JJ Watt didn't break it.
No, they've only come close to it. I don't think anyone's tied it either. Because Donald came close one year. JJ came close. Donald was at like 20 the one year.
Okay.
And I think JJ did 20 and a half.
Okay.
But yeah, 22 and a half is the record, man.
Yeah, that will definitely benefit pass rushers. You're right.
Yep.
That extra game. Yeah. And just with how the league's going. So it is a little bit of a different era. Yeah,
Absolutely.
Strahan to get 22 and a half back in, when was that? Early 2000s?
That was back when Favre was playing, because I was still high school, I think, when I saw that, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think they could be one of the best receiving groups, if not the best. I don't think it necessarily has to do with the drops. That's part of it. But I just think, with how their games, one, they're young, and then just how their games are going to keep getting better and better as they age in the NFL. I think that's just a natural progression, in my opinion.
I like
Claypool was a rookie last year. Deontay was in his second season.
Crazy.
Juju's 24.
Yeah.
So last year we would put him in the top 10. That's with all these drops. So
So it's only gonna be nicer. And you gotta also remember it. All 41 drops weren't just in the wide receiver room. It was other position groups that catch the ball. That has some inconsistencies as well. We're not gonna talk names, but you understand what I'm saying. But
we got another topic.
It looks like we do. What color is this, Deke? Do you see this color right here? But shout out to Joel on that last one though, man. Definitely appreciate you. Salute, yes indeed. But Deke, what color is this, man?
This is Steeler gold.
So what does that mean, Deke?
This is where we're just going to talk about
we just got to hop right into it, right? So shout out to Garrett Slingerland on this comment right here, man. So before we can't even get to the rest of the chat, but we got to just hop right into this thing, man.
Yeah.
Now, Garrett says this, going back to the corners, do you think this batch of corners is going to be like that 2015 group where it hindered the rest of the defense, seemingly regardless of if everyone else is clicking? Now, in 2014, that's Ike Taylor, Bryce McCain,
we were talking
Antoine
about
Blake / Valentino Blake, Ross Cockrell's around that time frame as well. Cortez Allen, I know he was dealing with the knee injuries and stuff, because 14 was my first year here, and that's when he signed his extension. And I remember probably like week 3, like watching him in practice, it was just crazy trying to see him move because he was bone on bone. Like it was just hurt. Yeah, it wasn't a good look, man. But I just think of like all those guys, and I'm like, could this group be like that?
I don't think so.
Now, why are you so confident that you don't? Because I think of 14, and I ask myself, okay, Joe Hayden in 2021 at this stage of his career, how much further do you think he is ahead of Ike? Now, granted, in 14, Ike didn't play that much though, did he? Because Ike had broke his arm. He broke his arm week 3.
Yeah, I can't remember. I just remember like the last season or two of Ike's career wasn't good.
Okay.
The prime of his career, I always felt like, dude, he's locked down. I don't see big receivers going off against him until Demaryius Thomas hit.
Yeah.
In that AFC wildcard game.
Are you talking about the Tebow game?
Yeah, that was terrible.
Oh, I was just checking.
We never talked about Tebow yet, huh?
We're not doing that today.
No.
We're not doing that today.
Yeah, I just remembered his last like season or two just wasn't good. He wasn't the same. So I do think Joe Hayden's further along. And then you compare Cam Sutton to the rest of the guys that you mentioned. Mm-hmm. I'll take Cam Sutton right now. I just feel like there's a little bit of that potential that Cam Sutton has that these dudes don't. He's a little bit more proven, but has more potential where I think he can maybe be a top like cornerback number 2 in the league. Now,
because Bryce McCain, he was number 2/3 corner that year. Him and Blake.
And then I would say the depth on this one's probably a wash, but this one might have more upside just because we don't really know.
Yeah, I think 14-15 had more experience. This though has more upside, I think. Because of the unknown, but more so the pedigree with that group. Whereas you think about a guy like Blake, undrafted. You think about Bryce. Bryce was still a good player, but he was still kind of journeyman as well. I mean,
Cockrell, who I liked, but it came out of nowhere.
Well, and at the time too, Cockrell wasn't playing like how he's playing in Tampa either. You know what I mean? Like he's improved, but like that was a part of that improvement phase. You know what I mean? A part of those growing pains, both good and bad. So yeah, but I agree with you. I don't think that this group will be like that group. I think that across the board, this cornerback group as it stands probably isn't as good as last year's, but I think they will have a higher floor than that 14-15 group.
We'll think too, we'll have maybe this is a transition to safeties if you want to do that. We'll have Minkah Fitzpatrick and Terrell Edmonds at safety, whereas at that time, was it Polamalu in his last year? Who else did we have at safety?
Mike Mitch, but he was hurt the whole time too. He would come out there limping.
Oh yeah, I remember the Ravens playoff game.
Yeah, he always tried to play while he was hurt. But we went from Troy his last year in 14 and Mike Mitch to Mike Mitch and Shamarko Thomas in 15.
Sean Davis in 16 then.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think because Shamarko didn't stay as the starter in 15.
No, it was someone else.
Yeah, he started like a couple of games and then Will Allen, Frenchie. Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, because Will ended up starting in 14 and 15. Because Mike Mitch would be in and out, so he would start for him. And then when Troy retired, and obviously Shamarko, it just didn't work out the way that we all thought it would. That's when they started bringing Will Allen in a lot more.
You combine that we have Minkah Fitzpatrick and Terrell Edmonds in the secondary, and they're both in their prime. Now, I know a lot of people are down on Edmonds, but I think he's underrated. I think he's only going to be getting better. Minkah Fitzpatrick, all-pro in 2 of his first 3 seasons. Is that going to be stopping anytime soon? So I think that only helps the secondary. Yeah. As a whole, especially the cornerbacks.
Absolutely, man. I like it. That was a smooth little transition by you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Do we want to talk safeties? I don't know.
No. We definitely going to talk safety.
But we got more. We got more topics.
This is not even a top. I've never even seen this pop up like this. It just is. Shout out to you, Kenneth Beamer. We just salute you. I don't know how that whole thing, I don't know what it was or how it works, but something cool popped up. So I'll just shout you out. Yeah. Shout out.
Thank you.
About to say major love, major respect.
Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. But going to the safeties though. Yeah, absolutely, man. Let's talk about them real quick, man.
Yeah, so I think they're gonna be better for everything I just said. Like, why wouldn't they? We have Minkah, who's gonna be going into his 4th season, all pro, 2 of his first 3. How is that going to get any worse? You know what I mean? Like,
barring injury, right?
It doesn't make sense at all. It's like he's going to be hitting his prime right now.
Yes.
Terrell Edmonds, I think he's gotten better every season he's played on the Steelers since he got drafted. Underrated in coverage, in my opinion, from last year. There could be some
hit him with the underrated.
There could be some little things you could point out last year. I remember the Ravens game. What was that, on a Wednesday night where he let up that big one to, was it Marquise Brown, Trace McSorley to Marquise Brown to almost let the Ravens back in. There's maybe 1 or 2 other coverage plays that you could point to last year, but outside of that, he had some really clutch plays in coverage, in my opinion. He had the clutch sack against the Broncos. And he's young too. I think he's only going to be getting better and better. You have those 2 at safeties. It's kind of locked in. It's not like we're bringing in anyone new either. So we're going to be better.
Absolutely, man. And before I talk about the safeties as well, I gotta shout out to you, Let's Toast Media. He said, don't forget our boy Willie Gay. Big play, Deucey.
Cornerback.
Absolutely, he was in that group. I totally forgot big play.
Yeah, he was pretty good. He was pretty good though. Yeah.
And he still has my favorite celebration. Yeah. That's Cincinnati. Man, you talk about a moment. Lord.
Yeah, he had one of those years he had a ton of pick sixes.
that was that season, because he broke the record for amount of pick sixes in a single season.
Yeah,
it was
did he have one against the Falcons?
Yeah, Falcons, because we partied in the end zone there. Yeah, it was there. I think Colts, because we had the throwback, so he did one there at Hines.
Oh, yeah.
That was crazy. Like, big play. That's what he called big play. Deucey gonna get you one, man. Deucey.
You know where that came from?
What, big play, Will Gay?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's for my time, man.
Super Bowl 40. It was the Super Bowl 43 season. Mike Tomlin comes in. I don't know what. He must have had a pick. He must have had a pick or something. And Mike Tomlin comes in, and he's just yelling in the locker room, big play, Willie Gay.
Hey,
big play, Willie. He yelled it like 4 or 5 times. So that's where it came from. Yeah.
I tell you this, man. Willie Gay, a.k.a. Deucey. That's what we call him, because the two, obviously. super smart. Like one of the smartest I ever played with, dude. Like you'll be out there, and this is one of the things where we would talk about having a guy that's smart like that and how it helps the guys around you. Man, you on the field with him, he's giving you the check. Hey, yo, LB, you gotta watch this right here. Yo, hey, outside corner, man, look for the up and look for this twist route, or however one a route combination. Like he's calling everything out, man, understanding checks, holes, disguises. Like it was crazy, man. He helped me a ton in terms of just picking up LeBeau's scheme that first year, man. Just being able to hear from him, like, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I wasn't sure all the way. You know, sometimes you're not sure all the way, so you kind of look like this, like, you good. And he'd be like, yo, I got, oh, all right, cool. If you got that, then I'm straight. I know what I got, but you need that every once in a while, man.
For sure.
But shout out to my dog, Deucey, man. Dog, I love Deucey. Miss Deucey,
Does
man.
that change your answer?
In terms of what, that year versus next year? Nah. But remember, because I said I thought that group had more experience.
Mm-hmm.
And that does back that as well. But I do think that this group is more athletic. I mean, Deucey, even in 14, 15, like he was slowing down. He was
older.
Yeah, he was an older player then. So he wasn't this crazy athlete, but he was just super smart. And that's what put him in a lot of good positions. And he understood route concepts and just understanding tendencies. You know, that's the thing that Troy was so big on. Troy big on tendencies and actually trusting those tendencies. I believe in tendencies. I just don't trust them the way that Troy trusts them. That Tennessee says is 80%, they throwing that ball, or 80% is going to be a bootleg. Troy's going to treat that like it's 100%. I don't have that confidence. I'm over here like, all right, let me see it one time first. I'm not going to do it the first time. I need to see if it holds up. Troy out here, yo, what's the first play of the game? Oh, you said they do it on what? All right, I'm going right now. You're like, whoa, baby. Can we test it? Can we, you know what I mean? But Troy got a different leash. You know what I mean? I don't have that leash. I was off sides. 4th and 1. Cost us the game. Lord, Troy, why you tell me to go? Thanks, Troy.
This happened. What game is this?
Tampa, 2014. Oh,
damn.
Just jump.
That was, remember?
Yes.
Remember I watched the game early this year?
Yes.
I don't think
and I never said it, dude. He was like, yo, we had a penalty late. I was like, yeah, I know. That was my first start. Yes.
I thought you were getting held on some of your rushes.
Oh, I did. I drew a holding penalty. I was mad because I wanted to sack instead of the hold. Yeah. Cool. But for a fact, Troy was like, yo, you good, Moats. They always going once you jump
No way.
Okay. Okay. Hold on. I was like, yo, Troy, why did you do this? Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know, the funny thing was this, right? Because I didn't realize I was at the point for Troy. It was at the point where the coaches, they didn't want him doing that type of stuff anymore, right? Where he's like, yo, you play this, you drop the cover 3, I'm gonna rush. Like Troy, you know, Troy, he does that. He'll tell you right at the last second, right? And it happened multiple times. Cause I was like, yo, it's Troy. If Troy tell me, hey, yo, I know you're supposed to rush Moats, but Troy, Moats, I want you to drop to this hook. I'm gonna come off the edge. You just know this, Troy. I didn't realize to that point that the coaches were upset with him. They didn't want him to keep doing that. So I missed the conversation where they were telling people, don't listen to Troy.
Wow.
That was the thing. It was like, yo, if Troy said, don't listen to Troy, just play.
Damn.
And I missed that. So Troy was like, yo, you good? Just go on one. All right. It's Troy. It's the GOAT. Showing up.
Damn.
I told no son, what are you doing, Mark? I was like, yo, I had a tendency. It was a tip.
Damn.
Yeah, man. It happens, bro.
Damn,
it happens.
Inside scoop on that Tampa Bay game.
I'll never forget. I was like, God, dog.
We had that game.
Yeah, that's Mike Glennon. Shout out to Glennon. Yeah, man.
I know. He had a clutch drive at the end. Jeez.
Absolutely.
That hurts.
But going back to these safeties now, because I think that's where we were at before we were transitioning back and forth a little bit, man. But with the safety group, I think they're going to be better as well. You have Edmonds coming back. Edmonds, number 1, good tackler. We already said that. We thought that he did improve from a coverage standpoint. Still is not going to be on Minka's level just yet. And I think that's the biggest reason why you have that divide in terms of how people view Edmonds, man. Along with just early on in his career where it wasn't what we wanted it to be from a coverage standpoint. But I think that he's a good player. And you're putting him out there with Minka, who's coming off of All-Pros, coming off of another Pro Bowl, who's coming off of another year in this system. Yeah, it's only going to get better for those guys back there. And I also like the fact that you bring in a Trey Norwood guy, right?
Sure.
A guy who's very versatile, is going to get a chance to learn behind those guys. Antoine Brooks, another guy, potentially learning behind those guys, right? Now, we know they're going to be used a little bit in terms of some of this, some of the tight end cover stuff, or potentially some of the nickel corner stuff for Trey and for Antoine. But as a whole, those are still good quality players in that safety group. So I like it, man.
So in terms of coverage, Terrell Edmonds last year.
Mm-hmm.
8. Is PD same as PBU?
Yeah,
right?
pass
deflections,
deflections,
pass
pass
breakups.
defense, however you want to word it. Yeah.
So Edmonds at 8.
Yeah.
Minka, his first 2 seasons, 9. He ended up having 11 last season, but you could see that gap closing a little bit with Terrell Edmonds, man.
Yeah, man.
And then another thing to consider too is Minka has that $10 million on the 5th-year option.
Yes,
like
already
they just accepted that. You got to think Minka's going to be a little bit motivated next year to where he could get to that TJ Watt spot where he's at right now, where you could negotiate your long-term, big-time deal next year. You want to have that type of play on the field. And then going to Terrell Edmonds, you're motivated because they didn't pick it up. Now it's like, I want to prove them wrong. It's pretty much that simple. So they're in that.
If you don't prove them wrong, you want to get paid somewhere else.
They're in that sweet spot where both their games, they're steadily increasing, improving. They're hitting their primes. Minka has already been a stud up to this point, and I think Terrell Edmonds been consistently improving. So I don't see why we wouldn't be better.
I agree.
You combine with that motivation I just talked about, it's no brainer for me.
It. And if Taco Meat Deke says it, then you know it's fact, man. You can take that to the bank, cash it even on a Sunday at 3:00. It does not matter. All right. So now let's see, man. We did corner, we did safety. Go inside linebacker.
Sure.
Was that next on your list, or what you have on your list, man? What's your order of operations over here, man?
I already screwed us because
you pimped us. We not pimped us no more. What we doing over here?
No, we're all over the place right now.
Oh god.
Yeah, the order screwed up.
Oh man. All right. Well, I guess I'll try to remember. Let's go inside linebacker.
Perfect. You want to go first?
Man, you know I'm going to go first. Come on, bro. You think we're going to talk linebackers and I'm going to have Taco Meat Deke speak on linebackers before I get a chance to talk?
There's no reason for that.
I don't have Taco Meat on mine because I Manscaped. Shout out to the Lawnmower 4.0. Make sure you use the promo code Moats for the 20% off plus the free shipping. That wasn't even supposed to happen. It just did. But the inside linebacker room. Part of me says wash, but a part of me also thinks better. Weird, but here's why. In terms of last year, do I think that this group will be better? Yes, because we didn't see a healthy group last year the whole time. We saw Vince miss time with COVID. We saw Devin Bush go down with the ACL injury. We saw Spillane come in and then Spillane go down with the injury. Then we had a group that had Avery Williamson out there. Then that group was Marcus Allen out there. I mean, we saw so many different combinations that it's really hard to just flat out say that was the group or they were good or they were bad because they just weren't healthy. Like nobody in that group played a full 16 games as a starter at linebacker. So now when I look at this same group, I'm asking myself, if all things are considered equal, if everyone is considered healthy, do I think Devin Bush is better this year than he would have been last year? Yes. Smarter player, right? More experience, more in-stadium experience. Do I think that Robert Spillane is a lot better going into this year compared to last year? Absolutely. Last year, he was a relative unknown. Like, nobody thought this guy would even make the roster. And now we've seen that he's actually a legit player. Then you have Vince Williams. Now, granted, he's coming back after being released, but I like the fact that, number one, you're not going to find a smarter linebacker on this roster than him. He brings that. He also is a niche guy, right? No different if you're watching, podcasts, perfect example, right? You watch certain podcasts because you know they're going to talk this and only this, and this what you want to see. This what you want to hear. Well, Vince Williams, he's the podcast version of inside linebacker. He's going to give you what? Great downhill play, tackles for loss in the running game, and he can rush the passer like a crazy man from the inside linebacker spot. He's going to continue to do that. That doesn't change. It's not that part of your game doesn't disappear when you get older. It's the speed and the coverage that gets you, but not the blitzing, not the run stopping stuff. That is always going to be there. So I think of him and I'm like, I like that. But then I look at the depth and I ask myself, okay, last year, who are our backups? Marcus Allen, who at the time was a converted safety to linebacker. We talked about Robert Spillane, who at the time didn't really have a lot of in-stadium experience. And I look at a guy like Buddy Johnson and I'm like, dude, Buddy has the size, Buddy has speed, Buddy has smarts.
You're high on Buddy.
I like Buddy a lot. And shout out, the film session. Anybody that checks out the film session, they know my feelings on Buddy. I love Buddy, man. Buddy can ball. Buddy, like I said, we lost Bud, but we got Buddy. So it's all good. We forever call him Bud's buddy. Like you're the buddy of Bud. Like that's who you are. Mm-hmm. But I like his game. And I'm saying to myself, okay, we had, I think of, oh my goodness, Gilbert. Oh my goodness, the inside linebacker that we had. Oh man.
Yeah, Ulysses Gilbert.
Ulysses, I was about to call Marcus. I was like, yo, it's not Marcus. I don't want to say Marcus. It's not Marcus. But Ulysses Gilbert, right? He was another guy that we liked his athletic ability, but dealt with a lot of injuries, right? Couldn't really stay healthy. So far, the group that we're having back now is pushing the guys that had question marks further down that depth chart. So now they're either going to have to rise in terms of just showing that they're more consistent or can really play this at a higher level in terms of Ulysses Gilbert and Marcus Allen, or these other guys that have already been proven or are just true linebackers in terms of Robert Spillane and Buddy Johnson. They're going to be your legit guys coming in for these guys now in terms of Devin and Vince. Whereas last year, like I said, it was different. When you start having a former safety that just converted in the spring playing starting at a game at inside linebacker, like that's risky. That's iffy business, man.
Yeah, no question. Devin Bush is back, so we're going to be better.
Yeah.
We had Devin Bush for 5 games last year. Now we have him for 16 this season. Like you said, presuming that everyone's going to be healthy. You hit it all on the head. Another year of Robert Spillane. Hopefully he's fully healthy. Although, I just hope he didn't peak too early. Like that, you know what I mean? That stretch of what it was, 6-7 games that he had. Is that the best we're going to see? Because we obviously saw him in the Browns wildcard game. It wasn't the same.
Yeah.
Hoping that's just first game back from injury, a little bit of rust there. Maybe he was still banged up, actually. It wasn't just solely rust. Like, he might have still been injured.
But then that's the part that still makes me frustrated. When I think of that decision, if he was rusty, if he was still injured, the fact that you pulled off a healthy Avery, that was the part I didn't like, man. I'm saying to myself, we saw Avery playing well going up into that game. Why pull a healthy guy off for a guy that is coming back from injury versus a division foe that likes to run the ball? Like that, but like I said, that's not on Spillane. That's on the coaching part. That's why I said there's certain things where it's like we like the coaches, but we never just everybody's perfect. Nobody's perfect. Everybody has little things, and that was one of them. Just not really a fan of. But continue. I'm with you.
Yeah. So Spillane has some experience. Hopefully he's fully healthy, and we see more of what we saw in the middle of the season when he came in. Yeah. Vince is back, a year older, so you're right. Maybe he loses a step, but not really, because we know what his specialty is. Yeah. Like, he's going to be playing 30-40% of the snaps, bringing that energy, bringing that heat whenever another team's about to run the ball. And then we got Buddy Johnson. I think that's actually a pretty significant pickup to say this is going to be better. I think it tilts the scales a little bit for me saying, like, yeah, it's going to be better just because we got Devin Bush back. But you add Buddy Johnson, I really think he's a nice depth piece for our inside linebackers. Also, you mentioned him, Marcus Allen, but I think him coming into the season knowing he's going to be an inside linebacker only helps as well. Yeah. And, he brings that athleticism. So, one, just Devin Bush coming back, being here for 16 games, being in his 3rd season, I think that's going to be big. I have a question about Devin Bush, though. Like, where did you see his game going last year in those 5 games? Because I don't think we talked about him that much. He got hurt. We were just more pissed off because he got hurt. Yeah. How was he looking? Was he where you needed him to be in that 2nd year?
He was taking steps in the right direction.
Okay.
Like, it wasn't going to be a finished product in week, 5 or 6?
It said 5 games played.
Yeah. Like, for me, I thought that he had played well in the run. I thought from a coverage standpoint, he was still needing to improve. Remember the Denver game? That was the one where we were just kind of like, we weren't the most happy about it. But we thought he played well in New York. But more so, we were like, we didn't really get to judge him because Saquon went down also. You know what I mean? So
yeah, he did have that big hit.
Yeah. So that was the thing. It was kind of like, all right, we liked certain parts of his game, but it was other parts where we wanted to see a little bit more. Because, like I said, that no offense, man, what he was doing, it was I kind of was a head scratch. I was a little frustrated with it because we thought that that's what he was there for. So that's the part where I'm just kind of like more so incomplete in terms of that 2nd year review because it was cut short. But any player will tell you, man, you're never playing your best ball in weeks 1 through 5, right? You hope not. You hope that your best ball is at the end of the season, gearing up for the playoffs and stuff like that. And I'm just assuming that with Devin, it would have been something similar. So for me, I'm still very high on him. I think that, him coming back from this injury, as long as he's completely healthy, which we are assuming he will be, then yeah, I think that he's only going to get better than last year.
Sure. Yeah. So we both say better.
Absolutely. And then before we switch over, all right, let me make sure I don't mix this up because it's like Gorilla. All right, Barilla 92. Shout out to Barilla 92. What color is this one?
This is blue.
You see?
Teal, a nice teal.
You know what I mean? Nice teal. So you know what that means? It just caught us at the right time, too. It was already transitioning.
Sure.
But Barilla 92 says, will Buddy Johnson be the opening day starter?
Opening day. You're high on him.
A lot of people in the chat are very,
so he's got to beat out Vince and Spillane then.
Yeah. A lot of people are high on him, though.
I don't think that's too outrageous. Because we were talking about Vince and Spillane potentially splitting like starter time right off the bat already.
Yeah.
Potentially Spillane being the starter more or less. It's not ridiculous. It's definitely not ridiculous.
And I think with Buddy, we say he's a more athletic.
It is crazy to
Vince.
think though he's like a 4th round pick though.
Yeah.
Where we could just draft 4th rounders are coming in starting.
But I think it's the position too though. We're talking inside linebacker, right? So it might be a little bit different and it could work, it could backfire, but either way, I do think that he's more athletic than Vince. So I like that part of it. My biggest concern is just mentally where is he at? Because at inside linebacker, you have to know what you're doing. You have to know these run fits. You have to know this coverage. That's one of them spots where you're off your run fit. We saw in the playoffs. We saw in week 17. We saw when we can go down the list of these games at the end of the year where that inside linebacker group was just a mismatch, right? Of, all right, you start this week. You're starting that week. And we just revolving door. Those run fits are very, very important. And when you're off, you could just see how plays start to gash. The runs start to hit. Instead of it being a 1 yard gain or a no yard gain, it's a 6 yard gain. It's a 7 yard gain. It's a 12 yard gain. And eventually the dam breaks, which we saw happen a lot towards the end of the season as well. So that's my only thing with Buddy. I like him athletically, but mentally I'm going to need to see where he is.
So you think at some point in the season though, potentially?
Yeah, I definitely think at some point. Yeah.
Spillane's probably the safer call right off the bat.
Yeah.
Is that what you're thinking?
Well, Spillane versus Vince is interesting because Spillane had more of the big play potential. But if you're asking yourself what's more realistic on a play-by-play basis, do you think Spillane can give you that type of consistent playmaking ability? Or is he more what we saw in that wild card game against Cleveland? Whereas with Vince has always been Vince. I mean, we know what Vince is never going to change in terms of him being elite cover guy. He's going to be who he is. So with Vince, it's more of the safe bet. With Spillane, you have the intrigue of, can he live up to that?
Are we thinking they're getting like 50-50 snaps though either way?
The only reason I don't think 50-50 is because Devin is still younger. And typically, I don't know how Coach Tom is thinking on this, but I know for me personally, you would want to keep at least somebody that you know can rock with him in terms of like Vince. You know Vince is going to know everything, especially early on with Devin coming back from an injury. It's not like Devin's been healthy and played 17 or 16 games last year. Devin played 5 games. That's not a lot of football. And you compare him with Spillane for the full gamut, like, or Buddy Johnson for the full gamut. That's the part where I'm just like, I don't see that early on. I think they're going to want him, unless he comes in here and he's, on Vince type of level from just a above the net game. If that's the case, then yeah, sure. You pair him with any of those guys.
Because he's got better coverage.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. But that's the part where I'm just like, he hasn't seen a lot of football just yet. He's still very young, man.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So this could be something we transition from Vince to Buddy week 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, something like that. Something to watch for at least.
Absolutely. So
you got to think Vince is almost knowing that coming back for this season. Like he's taking more on the mentor role.
Yeah.
Almost doing whatever it takes for the team.
Come on, man. I tell people it's a blessing, man. It's a gift and a curse to live this long and play that long in the NFL. You go through it. You go through the phase of you're the new person. You're hunting these old heads. Then you go to where you're the man. You in your prime. Can't nobody touch you. The big fish. Then you become the hunter. You become the old head, and they constantly trying to replace you with a new guy. Can you knock off this guy? Now Vince he didn't survive this. He was here for a while. Now he's up here. All right. I salute all my old guys that's out here kicking these young dudes' butt. I'm rooting for Vince. I'm rooting for Joe Hayden. I'm rooting for anybody that's above 30 to kick all these 25 and under butts. That's what I hope. Because when I was seeing the same thing. Yo, kick his butt. I'm going to kick your butt. You was born in 90. I can't rock with you. That's how I was living, So when I think of Vince, he got that same mentality. I know what his energy is. So I'm excited for him, man. He's my dark horse. I like him in this race still.
Okay.
Yeah.
At least starting right off the bat. That's your pick.
Absolutely. Okay. At least he week one starter. That's my vote.
Got you.
So yeah.
I'll defer to you on that one.
All right.
I wouldn't mind seeing Buddy though. Just the idea of having like
I need Buddy. I'm gonna love Buddy.
2 young linebackers. Yeah. Maybe we could see like the future right before our eyes. That'd be pretty nice.
Buddy's gonna take a little time. I just think it's gonna be a couple of games before they just throw him out there. Unless he has a monster preseason, which could change things. But I just typically don't see a lot of that, man. Like TJ was a one-off and TJ was a first rounder. I've seen a lot more Buds and Jarvises and Arties than I have TJs and Minkas who just come in day one and they're just the best player out there. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like it typically doesn't work like that. And those are first round draft picks. We're talking about a 4th round draft pick.
Yeah.
Like that's my
even
thought.
Dotson last year, 4th rounder. Like he showed that he could probably be a starter for full 16 games. That is kind of like an outlier. I can't really think of anyone else.
It doesn't happen a lot
like
that, man. Yeah. I mean, if we go through and think of all our 3rd and 4th round picks throughout the years.
Yeah. Maybe James Conner could have if Bell got hurt. Maybe he could have. Production wise, it wouldn't have been the same for sure rookie season, but I think he would have had some splashes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, man.
I'm about to say,
you're right.
Myself,
yeah, that's probably a tough call for opening day. That's a tough ask.
Opening day, like opening day.
We could say that for our first 3 picks, though, for sure.
This year, yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. Well, no,
Freiermuth, I guess it's gonna be tight end 1, 2. It's gonna be a combination type of thing.
That's a technicality, though.
Yeah, but he's gonna be playing a lot. We think
he'll have starting minutes.
Yeah.
And Presley Harvin III, he'll be a starter too.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Maybe.
No, there's no way. He's definitely starting. There's no way. Dude.
He look raw.
There's too much hype.
People brought him up in the chat. That's what made me think of him. Shout out to 007 and Zachary Bird. It was like punter can throw. I want to see Presley Harvin III nail someone on a punt return. I'm with it. And then Kenneth said it as well. Okay, I'm ready to see Presley Harvin. I mean, we're a part of the Presley Harvin movement. All right, we're on his team.
Yeah, we need him to be the starter. We need him to.
I'm with it, bro. However he wants to go with the celebrations, I'm down. I like it.
Yeah, there's no way they're not going to have him the starter. We'll see. Actually, will they film punter competitions? Like, how do we do this? Because that would actually be kind of interesting.
As long as Danny Swift is doing the commentary.
Who's going to be kicking the most dots in training camp?
Hey, you just never know, bro.
That'd be funny to watch. It would. That wouldn't be bad.
All right, though. All right, we're good.
Another position?
Good. Yes, because like I said, we're not giving 3 hours tonight.
We're getting close.
We are getting close, bro. like we're not doing 3 hours tonight. All right. So, as we're sitting here with the hour and 26, we're good. We got plenty of time. We ain't at 3 just yet.
Sure.
All right, we're going outside linebackers though, baby.
Okay.
Now, do you want to go first on outside linebackers? I feel like
it's up to you.
You like them more than me. I don't really like outside linebackers.
Inside linebacker, outside linebacker. I thought you were going to do first.
I don't really care about linebackers like that. You know me, I'm more of a quarterback guy.
I know. You've come around.
You
switch your
feel like skill position guys don't get enough flowers. Like I feel like receivers, running backs, and quarterbacks, they don't get talked about enough. I feel like everybody talks about linebackers, especially outside linebackers. It's nauseating at times. Like, you talking about outside linebacker? I don't want to hear that. Who likes outside linebackers? Well, I wish I would see outside linebacker. Well, I elbow him in the back. Definitely, I'll hold him.
It's up to you.
Yeah, we'll go outside linebackers, man.
That's what I mean. You want to go first?
I went first last time. You go first this time, man.
So my initial.
Come on, baby. You really think you was going to go first on outside linebacker day? What?
This is outside linebacker day.
Yes, the whole day is outside linebacker day now. You didn't realize that?
No, I didn't. You need to go first.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
You like, wow, the disrespect in here, bro.
That was disrespectful.
Get you in
It's one disrespectful that I didn't even know it was outside linebackers day, but then
crazy
to jump the gun right like that.
You just on outside linebacker. That's like you skipping me for a shot on St. Patrick's Day knowing I'm Irish. Like it's certain things you just don't do.
True. Yeah, I'm not Irish too. I'm not Irish at all.
Exactly, man. Listen, if it was anyone else, you might have to watch for your life. But since it's me, you good, bro.
Sure. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just in other circles, it ain't as nice, bro.
It could get crazy.
It could get real crazy, bro. Like, I done seen stuff go down behind that.
On St. Patty's Day.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, you never know, bro. You never know. But as it pertains to the outside linebacker group, do I think they are better or worse? I think they are worse. I think they're worse solely because the Bud Dupree departure.
Sure.
I do think Alex Highsmith is going to come in and play really well. But to play to Bud's level, that's a lot to ask in Alex's first year as the 17-game starter. So I think that's the big question mark for me. But behind Alex, it's interesting because I do like the depth a little bit more now. When you talk about the guys we were able to bring in, a guy like Quincy Roche, I like him a lot. Obviously, Cassius Marsh is a guy who he might not be the best in terms of run support, but he's been in this league for a while, so he still brings experience, right? It counts for something. And then I also like the guy that we picked that we got in free agency, undrafted free agent, Calvin Bundage. I like his game. I like his game as well. So when I think of those guys in comparison or in contrast to last year, where it was, Ola Adaney, Tazar Skipper for a little while, and then obviously Cassius Marsh at the end of this thing. Alex Highsmith ended up having to start because Bud went down clearly. But when I just think of that, I think this depth is potentially better.
Mm-hmm.
But the top end, we don't have the same level of talent. Now, TJ is going to be TJ. We know that. He's a freak, or in the words of Coach Tommy, he's a freakazoid. He's just visiting from that other planet.
Yeah, could you say he's getting a little bit better this year?
Yeah. Well, he's definitely getting better.
Coming off that Defensive Player of the Year snub, he's going to be motivated.
Yeah, but he's also going to have a lot more attention.
Yeah.
Because Bud Dupree isn't on the other side, making it where you can't slide protections. You can't, allocate all your resources. Alex Highsmith, I feel like it's more pressure on Alex than it is on TJ. TJ is going to be TJ. And if TJ's numbers take a hit, the reason will be because of the attention that he's got. It'll be the Aaron Donald effect. Oh, Aaron Donald's numbers are down. Well, he's getting triple team. So you still give him the tip of the cap or the nod for that. Whereas with Alex is going to have to earn the right to be doubled, which is different. Took Bud some time to do that. But when he finally got there, now you saw where, man, we got to respect Bud and TJ. And I thought that's when we saw crazy level
best
TJ.
Pass rush doing
like
the league.
It was nuts between those guys. So for me to think that Alex Highsmith is going to come in year one and be on that level, to me, it's just not realistic. And I'm high on Alex. I like Alex, man. But it's just not realistic knowing that position and knowing what they're going to be, just asking him the guys he's going to be going against. He's not even going against the right tackles. Remember, he's going against the $100 million tackles, the dogs, the left tackles. I just, that's my thing with it. I think he's going to play well, but just not to Bud's extent in 2021.
Yeah, my initial reaction was worse. There is the spin, and you kind of touched on it a little bit, where you could say, is it at least a wash, perhaps better? Yeah. The ways you could say it is TJ Watt, he gets better somehow. Maybe just a little incrementally. It's hard to get better from where he's been over these past couple of years. But either way, he's hitting his prime. Maybe he gets a little bit better. We only had Bud Dupree for 11 games last year. So could you say Alex Highsmith, full season coming into his sophomore year versus Bud Dupree in 11 games last year? Could that be a wash? I'm still probably taking Bud Dupree, but then you mentioned the depth. Yeah. If you add all that together, could you make it close? Bud Dupree was on like a double-digit sack year last year. He was on a Pro Bowl.
Back-to-back double-digit years too, bro.
That's tough. Like even though he only played 11 games, him and TJ like that, and having Alex Highsmith as your third guy, that's tough to beat. So I am leaning worse. There is a spin you could take, though. If Alex Highsmith lives up to how everyone's thinking, if you could get him double-digit sacks for a full season, then that's a no-brainer. But is that too much to ask, or is that you think that's a reach right now?
Well, I the only reason I think it's a reach is because I know how hard it is to get double-digit sacks in a season. It could be very difficult. And when I think of some of the factors that are going to be playing,
or even 8, if you got 8 or 9 though.
No, 8 or 9 is still, that's a ton of sacks. But the thing that I think is going to hurt him a little bit is where the secondary is. Typically as pass rushers, if you're a younger pass rusher trying to come into it, you want to have good corners out there that can cover a little bit longer, because you might not be as polished as you should be, or as you could be, or will grow into. So if you have guys that can cover a little bit longer, quarterback has to hold the ball a little bit longer. Now you're able to get a sack. They don't care if the sack took 5 seconds versus 3 seconds. Sack is a sack. That's how it goes, right? So when I think of Alex, I'm just saying, man, if our cornerback room, which we've said we do think is worse than last year, if that takes a step back and that continues, if that starts to struggle a little bit, now how is his rush going to be affected by that? Because it doesn't matter how good your rush is. If that guy's wide open, it don't matter. We've done that.
If he's getting it out within like 2 or 3 seconds, it don't matter.
You can have the best rush ever. It happens. And you're just like, bro, I cooked him. Oh, but my corner got killed off the line, so it didn't matter. Like, that happens. So
that's a fair point.
That's the only part where I'm thinking of Alex. I'm just like, I can see that potentially hurting him as well.
Okay, yeah. I lean worse, but I could see how it could be better just because of Bud Dupree's injury last year. Like, if Highsmith exceeds expectations this year, maybe Quincy Roche, you throw like 4 or 5 sacks in there, he has some splash plays, and TJ just keeps getting better, then it's a wash, if not better. But just right off the bat, that's gonna be tough. That's gonna be tough. Absolutely. Because Bud Dupree was awesome. He was great, bro. For us.
He was. I guess I was so happy for that dude, bro. Like, just seeing that growth, that development, being there for it mentally with them, man. Like it was good to see, man. And
somehow PFF gave him like a 58 or 59 grade last year.
You already know my energy.
Like
for PFF,
if you watch some of his games, man, like, especially that Giants one right off the bat, or the Broncos one too, like crazy, crazy,
without a doubt, bro.
He was lighting it up last year.
Past 2 years, bro. Past 2 years.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And we've seen some people bringing up potential free agents that we could be bringing. We're going to actually talk about that in a little bit, man. I've seen
that would change the answer for sure.
Yeah, but we're gonna get on that though a little bit later. That's what we're keeping on track here. All right, guys. We got y'all. We're gonna talk about them though, man. We need that.
One more? One more position?
D-line. Yeah, we'll talk D-line, and then after that, we'll talk about some of these free agents, man.
Sure. You wanna go first?
Nah, you can go first this time.
This one's kind of like the outside linebackers.
Yeah, you know why it's kind of like the outside linebackers?
Spin it away or two.
Deke, you know why it's kind of like the outside linebackers?
Why is that?
Because I used to play D-line, so I don't really care about Taco Meat Deke trying to start off. I want to talk D-line first. I was a D lineman in college. I was a D lineman in high school. You think I'm going to get up here as a retired NFL player that played D in the NFL? I done bumped inside, man. I done lined up over a nose guard in the exotic, Okie package. I done walked over there and flexed on him like, yo, what's up? You want this 245 pounds of man? That's what you want? I done done that. Got blocked, but it looked good pre-snap. It was dope for the picture. But you think I'm gonna let? I don't want to hit. What? Think?
I'm glad you stopped me.
Nah, it's all good, man.
I would have never known.
I would have never known.
Dude, it's all you.
You sure?
I promise.
Nah, man, you got it, bro. And side note too, man. Shout out to the people. They was asking before we get to the D line. They were asking what type of car you drove, and I saw somebody say a taco truck. Because the whole taco meat, I was like, yo, are
they actually curious?
They were kind of curious about like what car you would drive, and it popped up, and I was just like laughing because I'm seeing, oh, taco.
Is that weird for me to say?
Oh, and then Joe Brown says, Deke, my mom says hi. See, like, dude, you're an icon. You're a sex symbol. The taco meat, man, just flash it. Don't show nipple. Come on, man. It's PG-13.
Yeah, we can't be flashing little nip slip on the podcast. I might break the internet though. Do we want to do that? Well, I told you I might come in here shirtless one of these times anyway. Like, dude, if we win week 1 and like Ben goes off, I'll probably come in here shirtless.
Well, I'm gonna show up in a kilt, so don't trip.
Okay,
you're good, bro.
Yeah.
I'm definitely kilting it at some point. I'm Irish. I got Irish in me, bro. Kilt is coming out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they serious about what car I drive, or
I mean,
do I not answer that? They just mess with me.
I mean, I don't know. Are you supposed to?
That's what I mean.
Because Zachary was the one who said the taco truck. That was his name.
Do I keep it a mystery?
Yeah. Now Steelers Freak says you drive your grandma's Pinto. Shout out to the Pintos out there.
Okay.
As well,
yeah.
man.
Actually, ask him what car do they think I drive.
What car do you think Deke and Dots drives? What car do you think my main man Deke drives?
I've driven a few different cars throughout my life, so it's not like I have one type of thing I'd be rolling with. So I'd be interested to see what they think.
Well, and then Slender Man was calling for your areola and just flash it,
Oh,
don't do it. We friendly, but they're 33% Irish, so that's why I had to shout them out. My Irish brother right there, man. Absolutely. Now people saying a Toyota, a Subaru for sure, the Outback. Oh, the Outback. Let's go. Alexis. Oh, Deke is big, but you are high fashion, bro. You golf on the regular. That's what rich people do. Rich retired people.
You see my golf outfits though.
Toyota,
I did upgrade
Corolla.
though. I got some new golf shoes, man. My fits are fire.
I gotta get me some new golf shoes. That's what I gotta do.
Oh yeah,
I do. I need to get me something, bro. I got some golf stuff coming up, man. I got golf tournaments.
I know you were telling me about that.
I'm working on my thing, man. I gotta have a fit right though.
Keep your head down. Yeah. Keep your left arm straight. That's all you really got to worry about.
Well, you would need to teach me, bro. The same way we did the little combat. You need to help me.
Oh man,
that's what we need. Get me ready. Coach me up. Come on, coach.
All right. That could be.
That's all I'm saying, bro. But back to your car though. Here we go.
That'd be funny.
Let's see. Oh, a small Kia. Why they try your car game like that? A Kia? a stolen SRT. Yeah.
What's an SRT?
It's like the Dodge Chargers, the Jeep. Okay. It's like their street racing technology. It's like the super fast, like horsepower Dodges.
Yeah, I can see it.
F-150. Brian says you drive Juju's bike. And we were actually on Juju's Bike's Twitter page too.
I know,
earlier,
that's
man.
where I got this
that
amazing article coming up.
I like that. Now, Mr. Hammer's ZZ says no nips, so keep the nips to yourself. Juan says you're in a Corvette. Hey, man, we're not talking about my car. We're talking about Deke's car. They said I drove a 750 liter, the big Jones. I'm good on those, man. Yeah. Now, Awesome Stuff says you drive a 4, but we need a nip slip. Why y'all trying to get Deke fired, man? Not fired, but fined by YouTube. YouTube gonna fine him for the nip slip, man. They gonna be blurring his But I was curious.
Is they turning this into? Are they turning this into another channel, another website
man,
here?
You know what I'm saying? Like, is it only for? Because we do have subscribers, so maybe it's like an only subscribers page. They're only fans of the show.
Is that another incentive to go to the upper room?
You want to see the areola? You better go to the upper room. Sick, bro.
Yeah.
Deke drives a fire truck, a 97 Honda Civic. That's like the classic car right there, the Honda Civic. Man. You can't go wrong with that, bro.
I see where they're going with that.
And they said you got big Benz plates. Shout out to John Doe for that. Yeah.
I'm gonna leave it a mystery. Maybe I'll reveal it at some other point.
We might. Now Robert says that you just take the Uber everywhere. You don't drive. And then I saw other people saying that you your car is the car that you were pushing in the video. Remember that bet video we did where you lost that like black like SUV?
I wish I had a car like that.
Yeah, they said that was yours too. I'm like, that did look like your whip, bro.
Whoever's got that type of car, man, they're living big.
Yeah, it's crazy. I must say, I wish I knew that dude, boy. Paid. Oh wow, that they gave you a whole adult entertainer name. They're calling you Sir Deke a lot. Jesus.
Okay.
All right. But see, they got us off track, man. I got us off track, and they said that SRT that you stole, it was Kevin Dotson's SRT8.
Why would I steal Dotson?
Yeah, because you're such a fan of it, man. You love him so much. You said I gotta have it. So
is it like a delusional thing where I actually think I'm helping him out? Like I'm taking care of it for you, bro.
Like, yeah, I got you. Next time. Yeah. And before we transition, right? Because we're getting a ton of these Deke the Freaks. Shout out to CMF Trucking on that one. And he says, look like you drive an 08 Toyota Camry. I can see you in a Camry.
Yeah, fuel efficient. Yeah. It's probably not that expensive right now, but it's going to be dependable. So yeah, I can see it. I'm not the flashiest of guys. Yeah.
And then Sam Ahmed says that I drive a vehicle that has Manscaped promo code on the plates. Well, in fact, there is a promo code that says Moats, and if you use the promo code at manscaped.com, you receive up to 20% off plus free shipping. You're getting Manscaped all this free promo today. Well, actually, you know what I mean by free. But either way, man, shout out to you for bringing it up and making me talk about them again right there.
That could be a new thing to throw into the next deal.
Yeah.
I'll just soup up my car with all your stuff.
I'll just put a Manscaped bumper sticker. I get a door sticker. Because the bumper sticker, that's played. I'm going to get a door sticker. Let them know I really care about them. So every time I drive by, they can be like, yo, that's the Manscaped man.
Maybe you could have a big ass razor on the top too. Like they said, hot dog truck.
About like the Red Bull truck. Yeah. They'll call me Moats the Manscaped man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I can't wait till we go back to the table with them. I can't wait till we go back to talk to them. Need that. All right.
What do we at? D-line?
Yes, we are at D-line, man. Yes, we are. And actually, no, it's that. Whoa. Dude, the comments went, wow.
What do we got?
It got a little X-rated for a second. I can't read that off. All right.
I need to go back. What point is it? I'll go check it out.
We're at about what?
Let's an hour 43. An hour 40.
Yeah, hour 43. Yeah. Just go to the hour 43 mark. You'll see some of the comments that were coming. I mean, they were just, some of your, you're good, bro. It's all good.
I'll check them out.
Yeah.
Should be good. Should be funny.
You're good, man. But going to the D-line, I think they're going to be better. Number one, retaining Tyson. Yeah, returning Tyson Alualu, I think was huge. Obviously, you love Cam, you love Tuitt. Tuitt coming off of an very underrated, quiet double-digit sack season. A lot of people forget that about Tuitt, man. Mm-hmm. It was weird because he's been hurt so much that to see him actually play that long and produce like that, not a lot of people talked about it though, man. But he did that, and he missed time. He missed the was it the Baltimore game?
Yeah, he only played 15 games.
It was the Baltimore Washington for the contact trace or whatever. So when I think of Tuitt, I'm like, bro, I think that's going to continue. We thought that was going to be his floor. Like that's how good we thought Tuitt could be. So to see him finally get that, man, I thought that was a huge accomplishment. But then I think about guys like Isaiah Buggs, Carlos Davis. Now they have a lot more experience, right? They played obviously sometimes last year. We know, how passionate they get on game day. I like that as well. But now we're putting them in here, and once again, we said they're not thrust into the role where they have to start. Initially, we talked about, man, if you're missing a Tyson Alualu, like who has to step up and play more? Now those guys stay as higher end backups, or the potential to be higher end backups, because they obviously don't have the extensive amount of productivity, but still. That part I like. I like the fact that they have that. And Isaiah Loudermilk, man, you watch his tape, bro.
He's going to prove their haters wrong.
Bro, like for a fact, the more I watch Isaiah, the more I like him. Like I said, I was doing the film session.
The fact that we traded up too. I mean, you just don't do that. You just don't do that.
Like watching him, I'm just like, he reminds me of Cam. He gives me Cam Hayward vibes when I cut the tape on his body language. I mean, number one, not even the number. I mean, because the number and just the look, he has that. But you watch how he rushes. He's a big, long guy, but strong, powerful. He moves guys. You watch him, whether it's tackles, guards, he is moving them. Run game, productive. I love his effort as well. I just think that, man, underrated, super underrated. More so because they traded up in the 5th round.
Yeah, people were mad. And I think a lot of us were questioning it too. But I guess the more and more time goes on, you see him in a Steeler uniform.
I'm saying,
you start hyping yourself up
man.
a little bit. Yeah. There's got to be a reason they trade up for the 5th round for him.
Yeah,
you just don't do that. Maybe they had him at like a 2nd or 3rd round grade.
You watch the tape and you can see it's just like, bro, like he has some stuff in his game where it's just like that's different. Like I like that, and I was surprised because I'm full transparency. I didn't like the fact that we traded up. I told you. I think I said it on the reaction.
That was the one downside we talked about, but overall, we were like, if that's the worst thing,
right?
I think we did really good in this draft.
Yeah, I just didn't like the trading up, but as a whole, I cut the tape on. I'm just like, yo, this dude makes plays. Like, I don't care about the highlights. Like, let me just cut on a game tape, and I just want to watch this game. Like, that's my vibe. Like, I would just cut on the game. Like, let me pull up. They're going Wisconsin versus Michigan State, or Wisconsin versus Penn State, Wisconsin versus I need to see that. And then you watch, you're like, okay, he makes plays. Okay, he's there in the run game. Okay, even though he's not even on this tackle, he's still in the frame at the end of the play. That lets me know what? He runs to the ball. Why is running to the ball important? Because at the NFL level, you miss tackles. A lot of guys miss tackles at the NFL level. These running backs and receivers, man, they got great contact balance. But when you got big men like that run, that's how you get the forced fumbles. That's how you get those bigger hits on those little guys, and special things can happen. I've seen Cam do it plenty of times. I had the best seat in the house when Stephon Tuitt murdered a quarterback from Cleveland. I think it was Austin Day, if I remember correctly, man. I seen it, man. It was like parallel, and it's like, yo, that's why big men run. I love to see it. Coach Tomlin talks about it all the time. Big men running, little men hitting. That's what you need to be a great defense. So to see Isaiah already having that, I like that a lot, man.
Well, I'm with you. And my initial thing was I was going back and forth a little bit, and a lot of it teetered on Cam Hayward just because he's getting a little bit older. But I think he's at this point, he's at least going to have one more Pro Bowl season here.
Yeah,
I don't think there's any reason to think he's going to fall off a cliff at all. So I think he'll be fine. If you say he maybe takes, I don't even know what percentage of a downturn, I think he'll be fine. I think it'll still be Cam Hayward from the past like 3 or 4 seasons. Combine that with, like you said, Stephon Tuitt, it seems like he's just getting better and better as we go. I don't see why that would go away. He's 27 right now. He had his best season last year. Hopefully he gets a Pro Bowl this season.
And another year healthy, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That was the big thing. Another year healthy, man, because he had ran into that a little bit, right? He had the bicep. He had the knee. He had different little knick-knack things, right? But to see him finally put it together for an elongated time and not miss a game because of a physical element, more so of just the contact tracing part of it. I like that, man.
Like you said, Alualu's back. Probably had his best season in the NFL last year.
Man.
Now we had Loudermilk, who we just talked about. Got some upside there. I kind of like that pickup. And then Buggs and Davis, like you mentioned, another year in the system. The knock is just we're getting up there in age with Cam Hayward and Alualu. That's the real knock. But I think with Loudermilk, Buggs, Davis, I guess you could throw Mondo in the mix too.
Gotta throw Mondo. Come on, man. Don't forget about Henry.
Yeah.
You gonna forget about Henry?
And then also Tuitt hitting his prime. I think that outweighs the extra year of mileage on Cam Hayward and Tyson Alualu. Because I don't think there's going to be some big drop-off from them two. Alualu, we brought him back. We're not expecting what he did last year. He's back for depth. He's back for that certainty. Hayward, I don't think we're going to get a drop-off. He's going to be at least the same.
Nah,
I don't think last year was his best season either. But
as long as
he as long as he does that, Tuitt keeps getting better. Yeah. We got these high upside guys. Maybe Loudermilk could come in and spell for maybe 10, 20% of snaps or something like that. Yeah, I'm gonna say better. I don't think it's how much better do you think? Do you think it's better by a long mile? I'm just thinking by a little
No,
bit.
I think it's
I was
like
going back and
incrementally
forth.
better. Yeah, incrementally.
I was thinking washer better. So.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Just because you factor in the age element of it, yeah, that does play a part. But for me, like I said, the only reason I linked towards it being slightly improved, it was more so the depth and experience of guys like Isaiah Buggs, Carlos Davis, even Chris Wormley. He's a guy that they were able to bring back, right?
How could we forget?
That's still a veteran player, a guy that now has been in the system a year longer. So I do think, like, I put a premium or extra value on the experience, especially being in the system for multiple years. That is a huge benefit. And the system hasn't changed. It's not like where you get some of these organizations where every year it's a different defensive coordinator, it's a different defensive front. Oh, we're going to 3-4. Now we're going 4-3. Now we're going multiple. Like, you don't have to deal with that. So I think that that's going to help these guys out a ton, these younger players, especially in terms of taking that second year leap in this system.
So what do we got for each one? Did we agree on everything?
Low key, I think we did. Which was I was surprised with you about corners. I thought that corner you would have a different energy.
I'm high on those dudes. I am high on those dudes. Pierre.
Yeah.
Maybe Justin Lane too. Either one. Mark Gilbert for sure. I'm high on Shakur Brown. Yeah. I'm high on all those dudes. But we had Steven Nelson and Mike Hilton last year. Right. They play you. You're not going to replace that by 2 out of those 4 dudes just right off the bat coming in like that. It's just there's no way.
Absolutely, bro.
There's no way. I hope so. But
we agreed on it. I like it though. I like it. Now we do have 2 announcements that we have to make, bro.
Okay.
This isn't me. This is the people. Waxman68 Cards #Card Crew says, if you like this stream, hit the like button. That's what Waxman68 Cards #Card Crew
Where we
said.
at right now? Where we at?
We're sitting at 144 right now. And that's what he said. I'm just throwing it out there,
We've been
bro.
saying 300, right?
Now
can we bump it up to 350 on this one?
I just feel like, we might need to, because not only did he comment, Funky Mackin JG, 250 plus people watching and only 133 likes at the time. Show some big Deke energy and smash the like button. Did you hear what the man said? He said, show some big Deke energy. This is big Deke energy. You think he pulls up here? Too much nipple? Was that nipple? My bad.
I don't know, man.
Well, either way, y'all.
You were getting close there.
You got me hot and bothered. I'm sorry, bro. But anywho, big Deke energy says smash the like button. So I'm just relying on the message, man. That's all I do. I'm a man of the people.
Yeah.
Okay. Now back to regularly scheduled.
We could blame ourselves a little bit. We probably should have said that a couple times.
We could, man. I forget. Like I said, we're new to YouTube, right? We're YouTubers, but we're like baby YouTubers. Like, I think of some of these YouTubers like my kids watch, which by the way, they really be hurting my feelings every once in a while.
Why?
Cause like my son, man, he's hip to YouTube. I get him a little Gmail account so he can like this, because that's his whole thing. Dad, I want to like this. I want to subscribe. I'm like, bro, you could barely read. But my man, he's like, Dad, I was watching your videos. I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah, Dad, I love watching your videos. Man, he just watch all the videos. Oh, that's Deke. Oh, that's the guy that comes over with. I'm like, yep, that's him. So he's just liking the video, subscribing, right? And then he hit me one day. He was like, Dad, how many subscribers is on your channel? So I'm like, well, man, I'm feeling good, right? I think we had just got over to 21, 22. I'm like, yo, son, we over here to 22K. Like, put a little respect on what we got going on. Like, it's no longer a hobby. This is legit. That's what I'm telling. Like, yo, this is legit. He's like, yeah. And he said, Dad, this person that I watch, I didn't know, this Sniper Wolf. He's like, yo, this Sniper Wolf. He's like, why doesn't yours have an M next to your number? And I was like, what do you mean? And he was like, well, look at your number, because it has the 20K. And he's like, hers is like 2M. I was like, oh, hey. I was like, well, son, listen, you're on punishment. Don't talk to me anymore. Go to your room. Like, that's where the energy instantly went, because I felt like he was trying me low key. I was a little sensitive about it.
Sure.
But it hurt my feelings that my son was like, yo, Dad, like, his energy was, why don't you have an M next to yours? Like, you got merch, because he was big on it. You got to have merch, which we always talk about the merch, right? The hat. I mean, not the hat. We wish we need a hat, though.
Yeah.
But like the coffee mugs, the shirts, and the hoodies. He was cool. But he was like, yo, you got merch. You a legit YouTuber, Dad. But when you hit them with the whole, you don't have an M next to yours, and they do, I'm just like, son, I will uppercut you, bro. I will punch you on the belly button. Like, don't do that. That hurt my feelings, man. But I felt better now that I see you in here with the taco meat. It lets me know we got promise still, bro.
Yeah.
But anyway, hit the like button, man. All right. So there you go. All right. My son didn't play me. So y'all hit the like button for Deke and me so we can feel better about ourselves. Jeez.
Yeah, bro. That's tough.
Right. Think we got it all, man.
That is tough, actually.
Yeah. She killed. Yeah, he killed me.
What do we need to get to? So
Dude, I don't even. Listen, he's the man of the house right now, bro.
Yeah.
I'm sitting at the kitty table. He told me, "Hey, you say Gray's dad." I'm like, "Yes, sir." Like, guess what it was today, you know?
Yeah,
like,
watch he'll start a channel in a couple
man.
years. He'll fly past us, man.
You're like, Dad, you only got that? Like, you just said that? Dang, Dad! Like,
and he uses the little bit of clout that we have built as
as
the platform. It's like, yo, I'm Deke, or I'm Moats' son, man. I know Deke and everything. They do the podcast.
They the homies.
That's how he starts it, but then he just captivates the audience and blows by us.
It's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
it's crazy. This is what we deal with, man. All right, so we finished up with our position groups, though. Correct.
One more topic.
Last topic, right? And let's see where we are from a time standpoint. Oh, we're
gonna talk about this for an hour?
No, we are not. In fact,
what are you doing? You putting a 20-minute cap?
I thought we was gonna do 6 minutes because it was 54. I figured 6 minutes is 2 hours. Like, I'd be right on time.
We could try.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so we got to talk about potential free agents that the Steelers could be looking at, man. Now I think this is where you had the lead, correct? You had the list.
Yeah, I have the list
because I got some names. If you don't have any names, but if you got the names,
I got a ton of names. But you could mention some of your names.
Before I get to those names, I did mess up my man's name. Funny, I called him Funky Making JG. It's actually Funny Making JG. See, the problem is this: Funny Making J. It reminds me of Money Making Mitch, but Funny Making JG. I'm reading all these things, and these comments is coming up, and Deke making me nervous because they got the taco meat out, and I know I got to keep up with him because he's a sex symbol. It's like sitting across from Prince when you're up here on the mic with him, man. It's hard. All right, it's hard. I got the air conditioning because I'm freaking out. I'm like, yo, it's Eric. Oh my God, is this really him? Oh my God, like it's him. So I'm trying, I'm trying. So I'm sorry that I messed your name up, baby, but it was out of love because I love you, and I know y'all love us, and we appreciate y'all. So now, have I stalled enough for you? You good now, man?
Yeah, so today rumors came out that the Steelers were interested in signing Ryan Kerrigan.
Now he just signed with
he ended up signing with the Eagles,
right? Yeah.
But the Steelers, there was another team or two that were in the mix that were interested in signing with him. So that got me thinking. I think that's got a lot of people thinking right now. Like, we didn't know we were in the market for signing any more free agents.
Yeah.
But if we were interested in Ryan Kerrigan, there's a ton of good names that are still out there. So why wouldn't
Ingram.
I was going to say, why wouldn't we be interested in some of these other edge rushers that are out there? Hey, potentially even some of these cornerbacks. Those would be the two biggest needs, in my opinion, that we could help. Because we talked about offense positions. We think we improved everywhere. We don't really need an upgrade, on the offensive line, but we don't really know who's out there. I don't think there's anyone that we could bring in. We'll be like, oh, wow, this is an amazing upgrade. This improves us immediately. They'll probably be in some type of competition. Right. Potentially. Although they have this dude ranked 12th, this center from KC, Austin Ryder.
Ryder? Yeah.
He's probably going to be too much money.
Yeah. We're not, we have flexibility from a payment standpoint.
We're good with Kendrick Green, but I should be actually looking at the tackles.
Yeah.
But there's no tackles out there.
Well, no left tackles like that. Because I'm trying to think who's available now.
Rick Wagner from Green Bay. Tackle, they have number 8.
I like Mitchell Schwartz, but he's right tackle, and he's coming off of a back injury. Trying to think for left tackles. Russell Okong, he just signed. Where did he sign it? Didn't Russell sign?
I'm not sure. I could check real quick.
Yeah, because he was a guy that I could potentially think of at left, but obviously the money with him might be a little bit different, man.
Let me see. Free agent. It says free agent on Google.
Yeah. So Russell, man, like I said, he's a good guy that's played
actually,
for a while.
Dude, actually an article just says right here, this is from PFF actually.
What'd they say?
Steelers best fit for remaining free agent tackle Russell Okung.
All right. All right. I like it though, man. Like the big thing that I would just be concerned about is the money, because he is a guy. Now, Russell, man, shout out to Russell, super smart dude, man. He negotiates his own contracts, right? So he's not a guy that's taking any type of discount, any type of Steeler love. Like I'm just throwing it out there.
Everyone should be taking a Steeler discount.
He for a fact he ain't gonna do it. All right, I done heard it from him. He ain't doing it. He don't take discounts. All right, I like his energy though. He's a good dude. He actually, man, we was on a visit together and we came out going to Buffalo. Took our little visit together, man. It's a cool cat. But I like his game. I think from a health standpoint, I think he had a scare with blood clots or something a year ago. Either last year or a year before last. So that part I want to look into a little bit more. But if we could get him at an affordable rate, nothing crazy, then yeah, I like him a lot, man. I think he could definitely, be a guy for us.
Yeah, I guess
He would
I was
come in
wrong.
and he would be the starter, man.
Yeah, I guess there are some offensive tackles we could sign, but I'm thinking the market for the offensive tackles is going to be more than maybe some of these cornerbacks or edge rushers.
Yeah, because of the scarcity of it. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking. Well, we saw what Al Villanueva signed for, and we're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What did Kerrigan say? I didn't check this. I don't know if they released the number.
Because Al what, 2 for 14? Was it 2 for 14?
Yeah, it was like 7 or 8 million a year.
But Banner signed, was at 2 for 9 here, right?
Mm-hmm.
Banner was 2 for 9. I'm trying to think of just Matt Filer was 3 for 21.
Yeah, he was 7 a year.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing a number right now. They usually don't come out with it till like a day or so after, unless someone in the comments could come through and let us know. But I'm not seeing a number right now, because that actually would help if we knew Kerrigan's number.
Right?
That would help for maybe some of these edge rushers that we could potentially be
because
getting.
Like Melvin Ingram and Justin Houston are both 32. Like we were talking about it before we got on. We were saying like we just assumed that Justin was older because he just seems like the older guy. Like I don't know what it is, if it's his demeanor, if it's like how he dressed, like from like his attire on the field, right? He's not a flashy guy. Whereas you look at Melvin just looks younger. But they're both 32 years old, man. So I think either one of those guys. Now with Melvin, he has been coming off of back-to-back injuries in terms of missing time the past 2 years. But as a whole, I love both of their games. I think with Melvin, you probably get a little bit more on a per play basis. If you're looking for a
better in coverage a little bit.
Well, no, not even that. I'm just saying like if you're looking for a 17-game starter, I think Melvin is the guy that you look for. If you're looking for a guy to spell Alex Highsmith and TJ Watt, then you go Justin. I think Justin's going to be cheaper, but Justin in a role where he's the third rusher, I think he thrives. If you're asking Justin to play 17 games as the starter, 60 snaps, I don't know what that's looking like right now. That's the thing. Whereas, like I said, with Melvin, I don't know if it's because we haven't seen him as much lately or what, but he just seems like he can still play and be the true starter out there. But if you're high on Alex Highsmith and you're high on Quincy Roche, Justin Houston isn't a bad idea. Justin Houston, you bring him in here, is no different than when 2014 and 2015 we brought Debo back, right? You have guys that you're high on, whether it was Bud Dupree in 15 or Jarvis in 14. You don't stunt their growth, but you hedge your bet. You have me, who's a veteran guy. You got Debo, who's a super vet, right? So you're balanced around those younger players. And if the younger players surpass them, great. But if not, you still have high quality playing going on out there. So that's why when I think of Justin Houston, I'm like, I can see that role. If you still want to have, TJ's the megawatt. We're not worried about him. But if you want to give Alex Highsmith that opportunity to grow and you want to take the pressure off of Quincy to come in and be the guy, that third rusher in year one, well, yeah, Justin makes perfect sense. I would love Melvin, but I think Melvin's going to cost a little bit too much, man.
Okay. That is the question then.
Yeah.
Do you bring in one of these guys potentially to be a starter? And you're saying in this case, Melvin Ingram would be that? Yeah. Because that was one of my questions. Would this mess up Highsmith at all? And I think a lot of it would depend on how the Steelers felt about him. I wonder, with their interest in Kerrigan, what type of role he would have been playing. Because he did take a step back with Washington in terms of his role last year.
The money tells you a lot, though, man.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. Like, I wonder if we would have brought in Kerrigan, if he would have been starting, if he would have been that third edge rusher behind Highsmith and Watt.
If Kerrigan is signing for 8, 9, or 10, that's starter money.
But he played well still.
No, I know, I know, but I'm saying, like, if you're paying him anywhere 8 and higher, there is no conversation about Alex Highsmith being the starter.
Sure.
Alex Highsmith is the third guy.
I don't know if we can afford that, can we?
Well, technically you could because of the whole voidable year deals, or if a guy just takes a 1 year, like you can, but obviously we know the ramifications. It's going to take away from the bigger cap number that we're going to potentially have next season. So that's the part. Like, how much do you want to have the full gamut that we're going to get next year, or you want to start chipping away at it this year and then potentially, have some people that we could miss out on because we already have money tied up. So that's my thing with that. But if they truly wanted to, they could do it.
I would love it. I think it'd be a great idea. Whether it's edge rusher, cornerback, Richard Sherman's out there. I think Stephen A. was interviewing him, and he said he got contacted by a couple teams. I think Saints were in the mix.
Yeah.
Was it Las Vegas? And then Stephen A. asked him about the Steelers. He's like, what about Pittsburgh, man? Come on, we need help at cornerback. You going to come out to Pittsburgh? He's like, they haven't talked to me yet, but I would definitely be down to come to Pittsburgh. So Tomlin, Colbert, Why not talk to Richard Sherman? I think that makes it. How would that hurt us?
I don't think it would. Extremely smart player. Now the difference is he's more of a cover 3 corner, whereas we play a little, like I said, a lot more of the man, or at least we had during that time frame with Steven Olsen and Joe Hayden. But they could shift back to some of this zone drop in, fire zone blitz type of stuff, because that's what it's going to come down to. If TJ, Alex Highsmith, Tuitt, and Cam can't consistently create havoc like we saw when it was Bud with those guys out there, they're just going to revert back to the blitzing element of it. They're always going to get the high sack numbers. It's just how they want to go about doing it. You can do it where it's just your front four that rush and the cover guys do their thing. That's the best for a coordinator, because you don't have to have one less guy in coverage because you're having to rush. Or if that doesn't work, all you do is say, we're just going to blitz a guy. That's when Mike Hilton became the man around here, because we could send him and he was going to be a 6 to 8 sack guy. Like, that's what he was going to be. So you knew, all right, that's going to help us. And the thing about, man, we had multiple years with 50 plus sack seasons, and we wouldn't have a 10 sack rusher. Like, that's what we were. It was, oh, you got 5, you got 4, you got 6. Like, everybody had that. So you can see they got multiple ways they can go about doing it. But that's the part where I think we'll see, in terms of just what you invest more in, I think will dictate that part too. If you invest more on the secondary, you're going to see a little bit more blitzing because you expect them to cover longer. If you invest more with those pass rushers, well, you expect them to just win, period. So you don't have to blitz those guys.
This goes back to the Steven Nelson thing of us releasing him.
Yeah.
He's ranked 2 on this list. Richard Sherman's ranked 7 right now.
And funny
like,
thing,
we had that guy.
And funny thing, Steven Nelson would definitely be cheaper than Richard Sherman. Just because Richard's name. We know Richard, man. Like, he's coming on. He had an all-pro, not this season. No.
Oh, he made it.
It was it this season?
He hurt last year?
No, it might have been. No, it was hurt the year before, and he's coming off of the second team all-pro. It was either this year was second team all-pro or last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was, Super Bowl. Okay.
I think he was hurt last year.
So either way, I'm just like, dude, like, he still can get it done now. He's older, but he can still play at a high level.
So you think he's not signing for anything less than like 8 or 9?
I personally don't think he will. I just don't. I mean, because I'm trying to think.
Isn't that Nelson? You don't think that's Nelson's range?
I think it should be. I mean, I look at what Cam got in terms of Sutton. I look at what Mike Hilton got, and I'm just like, Cam. I mean, you can make the case that Steven is still a better player than both of them in terms of being an outside corner. So yeah, he can make a case that he should be in that ballpark for money wise, man.
I'm going to list off some names. So we already talked about Melvin Ingram.
Now, before you list off these names, man, you see what the color is. We got color up here.
Oh, nice.
We got color up here, man.
Teal.
Shout out to Barilla92. Appreciate you, Barilla92. Now, Barilla92 says this, Moats, you got to start rocking the taco meat for more views.
You or me?
I need to. I got to start rocking more taco meat so I can get more views. Now, this is my dilemma.
Don't have any.
Let's grow.
Huh?
It's not there. We don't know if it's manscaped or if it doesn't grow, but either way, it's not there. Okay? So that's why I like to keep mine covered up. Whereas Deke is a bachelor. Deke is a young stud muffin. You know what I mean? He's out here looking to live his best life, man. He's like that fresh filet mignon they just brought out, and they walking through the crowd. Everybody's like, yo, I want that one. I want that one. That's Deke. That's big Deke energy. He's the bone-in filet. You know what I mean? Like, he ain't no regular filet. He's bone-in with it. Whereas for me, you know, I'm just super salad. I'm over here in the cut, married, just chilling, vibing. I'm trying to stay out the radar. I don't want any pressure like that. That's pressure. Taco meat, that your DMs is probably filled. I don't need that action, bro. That's all I'm saying, man. We don't expose yourself. We good, baby. We good. We good. But for me, I'm good on that, man. Yeah, see, Joe even agreed. Joe says if my girl ever finds this show is over for me, Joe knows, man. If Joe girl see taco meat Deke, bro, it's a wrap.
Damn.
You notice when you, hey, I
don't want to be doing that.
You see, you, hey, I answer the door. Yeah, my wife answer the door on the taco meat, Lord.
I did wonder that. I'm like, what?
Like,
yeah, Moats is always at the door, man.
You start showing that title. Is that 2 buttons or 3 buttons? Oh, you got 4 buttons on button? Oh, nah, I'm open this door. All right.
You ready for these names?
Yeah, man. Let's get them going, man.
All right. So Steven
like
Nelson.
we're not going 3 hours a day, bro.
Steven Nelson, we talked about. Mm-hmm. Richard Sherman, we talked about. Melvin Ingram, we talked about. Justin Houston.
And the numbers for Kerrigan were 3.5. That's what I'm seeing. Mr. Hammers ZZ says
1 year.
Kerrigan was at 3.5. Yep.
Okay. Dude, yeah, no wonder we were interested. One.
I'm low-key surprised by that too, man.
Now, do you think Houston Ingram's going to be around that 3.5 range? Less than 5?
What were both of their stats last year? Because I know Ingram was coming. He's been hurt these past 2 years.
Ingram was hurt. You're right.
But I
think he was around like
how productive
5
Kerrigan was that though.
sacks. I don't know how many games though, because I did check this before. Ingram. Oh, geez, no. He had 0 sacks last year.
No, I know he
Played
was in
7
games.
games.
He was hurt though. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, 7 games.
Okay, so the last healthy year he had was what?
He 13 games, 7 sacks.
That was
2019.
2019. Okay.
7. Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
His stats aren't crazy gaudy.
Yeah.
He has his 2 highest sack seasons, 10.5. He has an 8 thrown in there, and then 2 7s, and then coming off a 0 sack, 7 games last year.
Yeah. Whereas with Kerrigan, what was
he
Kerrigan
had like
at?
5.5 sacks last year, and that was in some type of backup role, third rush role. Maybe he could be less than 5.
Interesting.
You'd rather have Ingram then.
I personally would.
Houston was more productive last year.
If he's healthy, that's my thing.
Yeah, 5.5 for Kerrigan last year.
He's been down, bro. He's got to be healthy. If he's healthy, I like him a lot, man. Justin is super consistent. But like I said, Justin sends a different message.
I think he had like 7 or 8 sacks last year.
I feel like Houston sends a different message. Justin Houston, like I said, it just means that you're very confident in Alex Highsmith, which I'm fine with.
He did start 16 games though last year. Started 16, 8 sacks. Mm-hmm. That's not bad.
Like I said, man, I feel like he could fit. Money-wise, it would make sense. But it would just have to be clear for Alex, like, because that type of move can kill a young player. That's all I'm saying. Like, I've seen it. Like, you bring in that veteran guy, these younger guys, and they think that was supposed to be their chance to get it. Some of these dudes don't respond the same way,
we already showed we're interested.
Yeah.
I don't know why, if we were interested in Kerrigan, why we wouldn't be interested in Houston, Ingram, a couple other these edge rushers. I'll name off some more names.
Well, the thing is, you don't have a lot of experience in our outside linebackers room, so it makes perfect sense.
Olivier Vernon too.
Yeah, but he's coming off the Achilles, late week 16 Achilles. That's my only.
Oh, so he's out. Okay.
Yeah. Because he tore it in our game, in our the finale, not the playoff game. He tore it the week before with us.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an idiot. Everson Griffin.
I like Everson, but he's more of a true 4-3 ground guy. He's not a stand-up dude.
Vic Beasley.
Vic had that 1 year. He went crazy.
15.5 sacks, yeah.
Yeah,
and last year he bounced around 2 different teams.
Yeah.
Was he hurt or what?
The thing with Vic is weird. Athletically, he's gifted, but in terms of just pure pass rusher, I haven't seen it consistently from him. He had that one crazy year, but he's never just been this guy like a TJ Watt or a Bud Dupree where they're just gonna ball out. Like that's the part that's different with him. Oh, we got color, and it pertains to some more free agents. What color we got here, Deke?
Teal.
Shout out to Assam Ahmed. Make sure I pronounce your name right. I am happy about this one. Only position I'm concerned is cornerback. If the price is right, Richard Sherman will be a good backup or a good pickup. Also a solid backup defensive tackle when it hurt either. Assam, first off, definitely appreciate your support on that. And as a whole, I do agree, man. Cornerback, we said, man, Richard Sherman will be a huge pickup, man.
Yeah, that's probably actually more important than edge.
Yeah, because we feel like we have pieces at the outside linebacker spot, but the cornerback room, it's a lot of uncertainty, a lot of inexperience in that room. And even D tackle, picking up a D tackle, I don't think it hurts. I wouldn't want to spend anything over $1 million on it though, or anything over $2 million on a D tackle, because the depth we already have, or the pieces that we already have in place, this is more so going to be a competition style guy, or a guy to just come in and give you that little veteran boost at the end of the roster. So that's my only thing with that. But I agree, man. Corner is huge. Like we could definitely look into that a little bit more. We might even see movement with the cornerback room, just depending on how these younger guys performed at the rookie minicamp. They're going to get a chance to see these guys. And if they see, all right, man, I don't know how this is going to look, they might feel uneasy and bring in a guy. Or when OTAs start and veteran minicamp start.
There's a lot of good names out here. It doesn't seem like either side, whether it's the teams or some of these players, are in a rush to make these deals. I don't know why. Like, what is it about this offseason?
I don't know, bro. Between COVID, between the cap, I mean, it's been a lot.
Yeah, maybe it's the cap, because the cap got cut by like 10 or 20 million.
Whereas everybody knows the cap is going to balloon next year. So you're kind of stuck with, do you do a 1 year deal, or do you do a multi-year that might not be as lucrative? So it's a lot that goes into that, man.
Okay, cornerbacks though, real quick then.
Come on, man. We ain't going for 3 hours, man. They saying we going for 3 hours. We ain't doing 3 hours a day, man.
I named a couple of the edges that I thought would fit. Vic Beasley was the last one. So
Yeah.
you said maybe, but probably your top two: Melvin Ingram, Justin Houston. Then
Facts.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I'm trying to think. Were those the only two I had written down?
Yeah, I think that's it. Because I scrolled through. There, Ezekiel Ansa's down there.
Yeah, but he's another.
Jabal
he's a true.
Sheard,
No. Both of those
guys. Not really.
So this is the thing. With Ezekiel Ansa, he's a true 4-3 DN. Like this
Bruce
dude is
Irvin.
massive. I like Bruce, but with Bruce, he's another guy. I think he's great in run support, situational as a pass rusher at this stage, but he's still more of the. I mean, he could do 3-4, 4-3. Honestly, he could, and I like his size. I think that he could definitely help.
He actually
out.
wouldn't be the bad.
No,
third
I would
rusher
like
then.
him a lot. Yeah.
All right, ready for these corners?
All right, let's get
Steven
it. Steven
Nelson, number 1 on the list. He's like ranked number 2 overall actually on this list.
All right.
I mean, that just goes to show you right there how some people outside of the Steelers bubble think of Steven Nelson.
Yeah.
So Brian Poole, cornerback from New York Jets, Richard Sherman. Let's see who else we got. Darqueze Dennard.
I don't know. Yeah, because I'm still thinking just corners. Because Jason
Nickel
McCourty.
Roby-Coleman.
What about McCourty?
Is he on this list?
I want to say yeah, Jason McCourty.
We got Josh Norman, Prince Amukamara.
Yeah, he should be on it.
Rashad Breeland. I already said Nickel Roby-Coleman.
Yeah. I like Roby.
Daryl Worley from the Raiders.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know him at all.
I don't know him like that. I like I said, for me, I would like Roby because he could kind of fit that
Drake
role of what we
Kirkpatrick.
lost from Hilton. Drake Kirkpatrick, nah, he all right. How you feel about the division though? I mean,
Buster Scrine.
Buster Scrine, yeah.
Yeah, so those are some names right there.
Put it like this: if we brought one of them in, cool. But outside of Sherman, Steven Nelson, some of those top names that we talked about,
That's how I'm feeling.
yeah. If it's not one of them, I kind of like.
But it feels like their
roll
contracts
with.
might be a little bit more than some of the top edge rushers that we were talking about.
Yes.
Like if Kerrigan was at 3.5, I mean, it's not out of question that Ingram and Houston might be signing for less than 5 or 6.
Yeah.
Whereas the cornerbacks, I'm thinking double digits for Steven Nelson, potentially 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Same thing with Richard Sherman. I don't know if that's in our ballpark right now. I think that is the more pressing need though. Like right off the bat, like these dudes would be starting. Whereas like with the edge rusher, I think we can get by with Highsmith.
Yeah. Now what's gonna happen, man? Game or two will go by. The corner isn't covering the way he wants, and Coach Tom is gonna walk in that outside linebacker room and hit you with this conversation right here. Listen, guys, I don't care about the coverage. I don't care that those guys aren't covering. I don't care. Your job is to win. They got one-on-ones. Y'all have one-on-ones. They got to cover. Nah, I don't care about them covering. You need to win. 3 seconds. That's the rule, right? 4 seconds at worst. If y'all think y'all that type of group, we talk about the 50-plus sacks. If that's the energy, if that's what y'all feel like y'all are, that's how it needs to be. That's what he's going to get you. Because I sat in that room for that conversation. And you just sit here like, Coach, are you for real, bro? Like, Coach, stop. This is crazy. Like, we can't do too much more right here, man. We stuck. But that's the conversation you're going to have. It's not enough to just do your job. That's it. It's not enough to just do your job. And you got to find ways to do more. It's not enough to just get a sack. No. You got to get the strip sack turnover. Minimize the damage. Because instead, what happens? You get that sack, but now they got to go out here and play another down. Oh, he gets hit with a 15-yard pass. That's on you. Not on the corner. That's on you for not getting a strip sack. That's the conversation that will be had, bro.
You think he's going to pull up my Twitter account to Highsmith and say, look what I found on the internet.
All right.
This is how I need you to steal the ball
All I'm
on an
saying
option
is,
pitch midair. This is what you need to do.
All I'm saying is Coach Tomlin, he's a masterful guy in terms of using his resources to motivate people.
Okay.
So, yeah. Anyone else? I feel like that's it, man.
That's it. That is it. So we made it 215, 217.
Man, shout out to you. Shout out to the chat. Shout out to everybody that was vibing with us tonight, man.
Fun.
This is why we go prime time, man, because y'all give us that energy. We love y'all. Y'all love us. It's all gravy. So with that being said, man, I hope y'all enjoyed tonight. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your night. And until next time, baby.
Peace.